Showed his ass and shit the bed.
He's not Amber Heard.
Give it time, JJ. Give it time.
No, I'm sure Jeff is some
Sorry,
stuff
folks.
that-
We had a bit of a technical
Just don't pull
issue
this
to start the
bullshit
stream
again.
on my end.
You get one.
Tony needs to stop caring about the ratings.
Bradshaw said as long as the ads are in place, we're not going to lose that third hour.
Ring of Honor does not have to be AEW light. They don't necessarily have to coexist with each other. You kind of saw that tonight to a degree.
Along with a panel of guests.
He is no
longer glorious. Don't you bring that up. You want me to rant about what my NXT used to... No, we are done here for the night. I swear, James.
Because you never know who may show up for open mic night.
I leave our company in the capable hands of an extraordinary group of superstars, employees, and executives.
The first thing that came to my mind was, it's about damn time.
Amen!
What's up, Hammers?
I touched everybody in the state's trash. It's horrible, you guys.
Peyton's new thing is Dennis the Menace, but it's funny because she calls it Dentist the Medicine. And
That's great.
When Elliot Taylor came out and did Born for Greatness live, I was popping my pussy, having a great time. I didn't care. I was having so much fun.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Fuck Bill Belichick.
Football thing. We ended on wrestling, and then you bring in that shit. That's just how the fan goes off the damn rails. Brilliant, bloody brilliant.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Saturday evening. Welcome to another edition of Open Mic Night. And let me just say, I will never get tired of that intro. Joining me this week, as always, we've got the Simple Man, Noah Foster. We've got the Heb Man, J-Hebert. And we've already got a bunch of you guys tuning in. Gabrielle, hello to you too. Happy Saturday night right back. Safet, what's up?
What's up, bro?
Nathan, how's it going, sir? Daniel says Saturday night, and you know what that means. It's time
for open mic night. You damn right. God damn. I got headset head bad. Continue. There we go.
And then, of course, Safet has his comment. Mandy Rose, oh my. Buckle up and stay tuned, Safet, because that is our main event this evening.
Yeah.
Raymond says hey to the crew. Hassan says hello there. I enjoyed tribute to the troops today. Ooh. I completely forgot that was on, if I'm being completely honest.
That's because you don't think about watching WWE on a Saturday afternoon.
No.
That's right. Double A, the old Casamate, double down with Double A. Aaron DeTrucker says hello from Nashville. What's going on, Double A?
What's up, brother?
Gentlemen, how are you guys doing this fine evening?
Well, I had a lot of food. I took a nap because I had an early Christmas party. And that Christmas party was interesting, to say the least. And then I passed out. So,
there you go.
That was basically my Saturday. I woke up literally like an hour before to get ready. So, there you go.
Fair enough.
Cool deal.
Yeah,
Noah, what's going on with you today, sir?
I'm doing well. Just listening to Rihanna by Fleetwood Mac, finishing up some church stuff for the last Sunday morning service of the year. So looking forward to that. That should be fun tomorrow, creating a pyramid. And overall, it's just been a nice, simple day. Just been watching New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Kingdoms, hyping up my excitement for Wrestle Kingdom 17, continuing my best of Stardom for the year of 2022, finishing up their 5-star Grand Prix, and, just taking it easy. Again, with the fact that the academic term is now over and my work schedule is lighter, I'm just, and there is no more big-time wrestling until the 28th, I'm just literally just taking it easy. Most of my day was just laying in bed and napping, watching wrestling. Simple as that.
There you go. There you go. There's
Definitely sounds
always
like
got to
a
get
good
that
day.
watching wrestling in there.
That's all I
Hey.
watch, dude.
Yeah, sure.
For those of you, and you might have noticed that we didn't run trailers today. We're going to do something a little bit different and see how it kind of works out for us. Where, as we get towards the top of the hour and the topic is over that we're currently discussing, we're going to roll a trailer at the top of each hour, kind of try and break things up a little bit. Plus, I know the topics we have on hand this evening are going to be intense topics. So I figured the little 3-4 minute intermissions for each video, just enough to kind of lighten the mood a little bit as we roll through the show here today. So the first thing we're going to discuss, we didn't finish it last week because Jeff was on production and he didn't have the graphic. But over the last month, we've been talking about the 10 times that WWE broke our hearts.
Right.
And we have the final 4 to get through here today. Number 4 being the Eddie Guerrero tribute show.
I don't know if you can. What are we classifying at this point of WWE breaking our hearts? Because it's not like they intended this to happen on purpose. I would think, anyway.
Right.
So.
Right. No, I definitely don't think that they meant for it to happen. I think what we were going off of is just that these were like gut-wrenching moments in some way, shape, or form. The moments that really hit us in the feels.
Well, this one's definitely it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the news had broken the day before.
Yeah.
Because I will forever remember the way the entire day played out for me. My girlfriend at the time, my daughter's mom, and I had gone up to Northern California for a wrestling weekend. We were going to this fan fest, met a bunch of legends there, met the Hart Foundation, we met the Brutus Beefcake and Greg Valentine, we met Soul Man Rocky Johnson and Rowdy Piper.
Wow.
You know, it was a star-studded extravaganza.
Right.
We were driving home, and one of my best friends at the time started messaging me about all the stuff that was going down with Eddie Guerrero. And we didn't believe it at first, you know. Internet journalism being believable. That's going to be a common thread that runs through the show today. So just be prepared for that.
Yeah.
It's like getting the information and just not really. And then we went to another friend's house once we got back closer to town.
Yeah.
And it was TNA Genesis that evening. So we went in, watched the pay-per-view at the house, and because they were live and WWE was filming something that night, because I think they were about to go on an overseas tour or something.
Right, yeah.
But TNA was live, and I remember it was the night Christian debuted, and the Dudley Boys cut a promo, Team 3D, and they had Eddie on their tape. And I even think it was Bubba ended the promo with Vaya con Dios, mi amigo. And it felt a little bit more real, but it still hadn't sat in yet. You know, it hadn't sunk in that this was really happening.
It was sudden.
Until Raw.
It was sudden.
Yeah,
until Raw the next night. And until the show started with everybody on the ramp wearing the I'm Your Poppy shirt.
Yep.
Benoit, a blubbering mess. Vince McMahon giving his speech, and for some reason it still didn't feel real. And then the opening chords of Johnny Cash's Hurt hit.
Yeah.
And I was gone.
Yep.
Yeah, once you heard Johnny Cash, it was game over.
Yeah.
The second time that year that I was in tears for wrestling. The first time was happy tears. I was at Mania 21. Eugene was getting the piss beat out of him by Muhammad Hassan and Daivari. Hogan came to the rescue. And even as a non-Hulkamaniac, I was caught up in the Hulkamania. And I cried.
Right.
But just this just gut-wrenched me more than Owen did. Because when Owen's death happened, regardless of how sudden and how dramatic and how preventable it was, I wasn't that deeply seeped into the business at that point.
Right.
I was still a fresh fan.
Same.
So it didn't faze me the way it would have fazed me if it happened now. So Eddie was like really that first one that just gripped at my guts. Plus, Eddie was the very first signature I had in my very first WWE program. In ballpoint pen, not Sharpie. Because I had gotten him to sign it the night that Rey Mysterio defeated Matt Hardy for the Cruiserweight title in Anaheim.
Nice.
Eddie was backstage watching, and we called down to him from where we were sitting, and I asked him if he'd sign it, and I dropped it down to him. And he signed it, and then was like, now how am I going to get it back to you? And I literally laid down on the ground there on the steps and reached over as far as I could. And he jumped and put it back in my hand.
Jeez.
That's commitment.
So there was that little like special moment in the fact that Eddie was my first signature in a program. I think that had something to do with it also. His was always that standout because it was just in an ink pen instead of a Sharpie. Noah, we'll throw to you. What are your thoughts on this as we welcome in Zach to the show? What is up, sir? Noah?
Hello. Good to see you, Zach. Haven't seen you since the Royal Rumble. Hope you're doing well. Overall, yeah, it was definitely an emotional night to say the least. You could definitely tell it was a different energy. I mean, Randy Orton was still one of the most hated people in the company, but as soon as he put up that wristband for Eddie, the crowd shut their damn mouths. It let you know that this show was not about the continued storytelling and kayfabe character development, but it was really giving homage to an all-time great that passed away way too soon. And shout out to Port America, Mikey T. It's one of those things where you think about if he was still here, the impact he would have on the business day with those individuals that have followed in the footsteps, that still play the Eddie Guerrero games, that I literally just saw on not only Rampage on Friday night, but on that last NXT special. Eddie Guerrero's spirit still lives today in this business, continually influencing talent to come and already to be. It was kind of wild to think about because Eddie Guerrero was that rising star. He was that face of SmackDown. He was the guy that people tune in for that energy because he connected so much with us as fans. And then all of a sudden, to just hear what happened, especially regarding what happened with both him and Benoit that year too, before that point, it's one of those things where as a naive person, per se, not just fan, but naive person, you might not really think about it at the moment, but the longer you go and see the spirit of Eddie Guerrero live on, you realize how much of an impact that really did have on not only you, but the industry. It was a tough Monday Night Raw for me, to say the least. One of the last ones I actually watched and truly cared about top to bottom.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the domino effect, you know, if Eddie's death hadn't happened, would the Benoit end have occurred?
Yeah, the Benoit, I'm not sure. I mean,
it's one of those things that's really way back and forth because
I mean, the only thing with it is like for me, like when it comes to Benoit, is like I think there was a lot more going on with Benoit prior to that. I think he might have been able to conquer whatever demons he was battling if Eddie were still alive.
Yeah, that's the point.
But it's like, you know, it still comes down to like, you know, he had a lot more going on. Like, if you go, not to make this about Benoit, but I mean, you have to like look at everything that happened with Benoit leading up to that point. Also, it wasn't just Eddie passing away. It was
right.
You know, Bubba Rogers dying as well, who was really close to. I think another wrestler of his really close to passed away, like just left and right. His closest confidants just dropping, constant concussions. I'm not saying it was the main factor like the other freaking idiots are saying, but anabolic steroids I think did play a somewhat factor to just create the craziness that it was. I mean, it was a combination of everything. I lived through both at a really young age. Like, it was one of those things where it's like I wasn't connected to Owen, much like you, JJ, but it still traumatized me because unfortunately we saw the pay-per-view where it happened. We didn't see the thing, obviously, because I didn't show it, but we did, we saw the event and we knew what happened. But I was more young. I was a young 3-year-old kid, 4-year-old kid at that point. No, wait, 99, 4 years old, 5 years old, somewhere around that time.
7 for me.
So I was like, I wasn't really into the business at that point yet. I was more casual than anything as a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into wrestling until Ruthless Aggression era, and, Eddie and Benoit were the 2 top guys for me. And, it is the biggest tragedy, both of them gone. And especially the way Benoit died, and when you think of one of the reasons being is because Eddie died. It's screwed up for a kid, man. Like, it's not fun to go through. Like, especially considering the fact, like, when you already consider everything else, like, going on in wrestling, and that you don't even think about that as a kid, and then it just hits you out of nowhere. You can't even brace for something like that.
Or get away from it, technically.
Yeah,
I still think about one moment that I haven't seen since to this day. Rey Mysterio took his mask off that very show in tribute to him when he said, "Goodbye, my brother."
Yeah. Yeah, that was both tribute shows too. The one on Raw and SmackDown. Rough to watch.
If you could relate this to the more newer age,
but it was rough.
Yeah, if you could relate this to more the newer age audience, when you think about today's generation that might not even know necessarily what these people were about, but maybe heard of it. If you were to relate this to today's audience, the only real casualty of the industry that probably hit people, maybe as hard as that, and maybe it's also because of everything else they were facing. But in a sense, it brought the world together and did bring hope. It certainly helped us, James, and our ACW family to survive the pandemic. Brody Lee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like... And you know what's funny, too? A lot of people relate Brody to Owen and to Eddie. Nicest guy I'll ever meet.
He was a proud father, and he was a damn good wrestler.
That's
and
the
leader.
Thing.
And friend.
There is not a bad word to say about any of those guys as far as... Like, Eddie had his demons. He's, like, the third on the pecking order, really, but, like, not by much, Like, he conquered them, and...
that's the thing, is, like, at least he was able to conquer
about all of him, man, and... a guy like that, he just died way too soon.
Yeah, happy late birthday to Brody Lee, forever exalted.
And if rumors are to be believed, the SmackDown, the TV tapings that they were going to do that night, Eddie was supposed to defeat Batista and reclaim the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, what could have been with a second run for him? He would have had the WWE belt and the big gold belt.
Grand Slam at the time.
Zach, what are your thoughts on this? Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you.
Of course. So, you look at it, people remember when 9/11 happened. Yeah. You remember where you were for that. Mm-hmm. People remember where they were for the OJ chase. And if you're a wrestling fan, you remember what you were doing when you found out that Eddie Guerrero died. And I look at it like this. Just thinking about today's WWE or AEW, if Eddie was around, would Sasha really be gone?
Yeah.
Like, how
That's
big of a factor could
wild
Eddie
question.
Guerrero,
Wow.
right? Like, how big of a factor would Eddie play into the Judgment Day thing with Dominic? Like, would that even have become a thing if there was still a such thing as Eddie Guerrero? I mean,
Dude, if there was still an Eddie Guerrero, Dominic may have turned heel and joined Eddie.
Exactly.
Like for real. Raymond Williams in the comments here saying that he liked the story of Dom with Eddie
Bro,
and Ray.
what if Dominic cost Batista the title?
You're one of the few, Raymond. I literally know people, and me and Jeff Soul, that stopped watching WWE because of this angle.
It
They
did go a little bit far when
did
you literally
not
had custody of a kid
whatsoever.
involved in a ladder match. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
and he was so adorable too, you know. Just the sad look on Dominic's face. Is it true? Is it really true?
Yeah.
Like, you
Good
just
acting, if nothing else.
Scars.
as a kid, you felt that, bruh. Like,
It's got to be a weird. It's got to be a weird thing because you knew he was in on it too. Like he's even admitted to it nowadays, which is like, bro, you got some great, you got some good acting chops. If you could pull that.
As far as we knew, he wasn't involved in any movies either.
Safed points out that was supposed to be Eddie and HBK at Mania if he had survived. What a match that would have been.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah.
What if to never be, but still honestly on everyone's minds to say the least.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
All right, moving on to number 3. Triple H turns on Shawn Michaels.
That no good son of a bitch! Jim Ross made Triple H the ultimate villain at that moment. It was crazy, all right? You think these two as close as brothers, as if they were raised under the same roof, would never, ever do something as heinous as that. And then when that moment happened, game on, thus the Triple H we have today. That was bull. And JR, you could not have a better storyteller, seller than good old JR Jim Ross during that time. Point blank simple.
Definitely.
It wasn't heartbreaking. It was, what the fuck?
Well, it was gut-wrenching in the fact that, like you said, Noah, they were played on screen as, like, brothers. They were the best of friends, you know. HBK had just come back. He had joined the WWE version of the NWO, which was what it was.
Yeah, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
But as soon as that fizzled out, it was like, where does HBK go from here?
Yep.
Because he wasn't sure that he could still go in the ring. He knew that physically he could go, but he didn't know if, like, mentally, and if he would have been the same as he was back in 96, 97 when he was on top of the world.
Right.
And dare I say, he was even better the second time around.
He was damn better. Are you kidding me? That was TV for me. Seeing how Shawn Michaels felt so betrayed, feeling the pure hatred, seeing the unrivaled rage with these two across multiple fronts, multiple shows. I will never forget that fracking Hell in the Cell match from Bad Blood. Culmination, to say the least. It was a wild ride. And yeah, right now I'm like, you son of a bitch. Back then I was like, what the hell? Because even as a kid, I recognized what truly felt like unbreakable friendship with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And then that happened.
Raymond, what is it that you're seeing that's blurry? What is it that you're seeing that's blurry, Raymond? Let me know. James on this.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, anyway.
I was going to say, you want to go on this one, DJ? What you got?
So, man, how could you sit there as a fan and not get passionate about that storyline? Like, how are you supposed to choose a side, even though, you always grew up a Triple H, or you grew up a diehard Shawn Michaels, and the two together are just the perfect well-being.
Right.
How do you choose between that?
Right.
Like, it was so hard as a fan, just getting heartbroken like that, because you don't want to see two of your favorites just like get destroyed and destroy each other. I mean,
yeah, fair enough.
I don't know.
You know what my thing was? Mine's different between you and Noah's. Here's my thing. I took one look at Triple H, and this is like right when I'm tuning in, like a lot of the time. I see Triple H, and I looked at him, and he was a babyface at this time, I think. So it might have been like early 2002, and I'm just looking at him, I'm like, I'll trust this motherfucker as far as I can throw him. I can't trust him. So I look at him, and this is like, keep in mind, I'm a young kid at this point, so I'm like, oh, he's joining with this guy again. Oh, they look happy. Oh, wait until he stabs him in the back. You gonna stab him in the back? Ah, he stabbed him in the back. Like, I just kind of, as a kid, I just kind of called it. I'm like, I told you, don't trust him. Don't trust this dude. He's a meanie, and he's gonna stab him in the back. It's exactly what happened. So,
well, to be fair, we all knew how much of a villainous bastard, looking out for number one only, that Triple H was, going all the way back to 1999.
Dude, he freaking stabbed Shawn Michaels in the back then. He left him out to die in 98 and 99. The night Foley won the title just so he could get the glory to help Foley win it. Like, he was a spiteful bitch then. You know? Like, I wasn't even watching then. I didn't even watch that episode as a kid. I was like, I go back and it's like, well, my assumptions were right on the fucking money.
Yeah. I feel like there's a subtle bit of envy still to this day, with Triple H and Shawn Michaels particularly still. And I look at this back when Undertaker says, you remember when I said Shawn was better than you? He is. I feel like that moment right there was like Triple H is like, I am never going to truly forgive this person.
Well, there you go.
Kayfabe or not. Again, respect is respect, friendship is friendship, but rivalries are rivalries.
For me, I don't know if it was a heartbreaking moment. I think it was more shocking than anything. But
exactly.
Shocking more than heartbreaking.
I was always a Shawn Michaels fan
fair.
anyway. Again, still my favorite all-time WWE superstar. I still say Shawn Michaels and Undertaker is the freaking match in WrestleMania history for me. Definitely the match of the street.
There you go. So, number 2, Roman Reigns' leukemia announcement.
Yep.
This is when you forget that what you are watching, you can't freaking stand the character shoved down your throat, but you damn sure recognize the human life at risk on your screen that still goes out there to dedicate everything possible for your viewing.
Yep.
Bottom line, you don't have to like WWE, you don't have to like Roman Reigns, you don't even have to like sports entertainment or pro wrestling. But you damn sure don't disrespect the quality of human life. I don't care what you are, who you are, or what you're going through. That is something everyone can relate to. Especially when it's something that is lethal to people.
Yeah.
And thank God so far, he still is in remission. Never will be removed from it, but still keeps going past it. That moment right there turned the whole tide when it came to an audience for the WWE.
Oh, God damn.
And then you saw what happened with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, and then you drove the audience away even more.
Almost ended badly. Oh, got a concussion.
Don't get me started on the Intercontinental Championship program at TLC, James. Don't get me started. Yeah, but yeah, that moment, reflection. The character is not defined by the person.
That's a good take.
As sad as it is to say, I thought it was storyline when they did that. Like, I thought it was WWE trying to be really, really cheap in getting sympathy for him. Because I knew for a while they were trying to make him a babyface, and it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to get the crowd behind him, and it wasn't working. And Vince has done some insane shit over the years.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
I wasn't sure at first if this wasn't some kind of story to just try to get sympathy for him and to get him over. Hindsight 2020, I feel like a dick the way I thought that way now. But at that time when the announcement came, it was like, is this legit or is this a story?
I think, right. I think the idea that people are going to get pissed at people who thought that, because there's a lot of things you could get pissed at people for, especially in the IWC, and there are justifiable reasons to do so, right?
Yeah.
This isn't one of them.
No.
It makes sense that you would think, and that anybody would have thought, that they were doing this to fucking get some sympathy for Roman. And you know what? That's kind of what they did. It worked, didn't it?
Inadvertently.
You know, inadvertently, that's exactly... They knew they had that. They knew if he beat this, he was the guy no matter what. So they had to make it work, even if that meant they got to turn him heel down the road. But they knew they got him sympathy. And that's all they needed. So, regardless of whatever happened, you know, it still was real. It wasn't like it was fake. Obviously, the dude went through chemo. But I think both are true. I think the idea is like, Roman's speech was real. That whole segment with the Shield was real to sign off on that segment. Everything about that was very real, right?
Yep.
The actual way WWE went about it afterwards, they turned it into profit. Personally, I still, to this day, find it fucking disgusting. I do.
Yep.
I do. I think... Because it ultimately didn't work. It wasn't... all it did was create more division. That was unnecessary at that point in time. And Roman was going to leave at the end anyway if he didn't get what he fucking wanted. Which Vince couldn't fucking refuse at that point, because if he did let him go... after he announced leukemia, it was going to be a PR nightmare. So, I mean, the actual moment, if you look at it in a vacuum, yeah, absolutely, sad. And it fucking was heart-wrenching. Like, I remember watching that, and because I was like, oh, okay, well, obviously he's injured, right? That was what I was what was going in my mind, like,
and
let's see how they try to make him a babyface there.
Yeah,
and
he's
then,
like, yay, he's off our screens, and then...
And then he hits the leukemia line, and I'm like, wait a fucking, what?
So was that
I remember, like, as he's saying this, and then him and Seth and Mox are with him on the stage, and they're all crying. I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, I'm in tears at this point, because I'm like, dude. Like, regardless of however he was pushed, right? Dude's on top of the freaking world. He's the #1 guy in the company. He's on a roll, having match of the night, even despite all the bad booking, right? He's the most reliable guy on the roster. And then this just gut punch of reality hits you, and it's just, fuck. Dude, like, that sucked. That sucked so bad. Like, when he came back, people were fucking elated to see him, like, beat it. And I remember people, like, I was happy to see him back. It didn't last long term, obviously, as we saw, you know. But people were happy that he came back, and I think, you know, deep down, they don't want it to come back again. That's I think the number one thing there. We don't want it to come back again. So yeah, gut wrenching, absolutely. However, fuck WWE for absolutely over monetizing that and capitalizing that like it was some fucking cash cow. Fuck all y'all for that. Sorry. I don't have any respect for anybody that came up with that idea.
To be fair, you know it came particularly from one person who at the end of the day was going to force it no matter what because the show must go on, James.
Yeah, well, that worked. Hey, guess what? He's heel now, where he should have been in the fucking first place.
Yeah, all it took was a worldwide pandemic.
Surprise, surprise, people like him more.
Yeah.
People tolerate him more.
Let's also think about the fact that later on that night, people like Braun Strowman and Paul Heyman still tried to do their jobs, but even they were gut-wrenched that night.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. It was a rough night.
I mean, the fact that he has gotten over as a babyface organically by being a heel and just being so cool says everything.
Everyone loves that bad guy.
I think, well, I mean, there was a couple instances of that, too. Like, you think about his time in the Shield. He did that in the Shield, right?
Yeah,
and then you think about it with the Tribal Chief. I'd argue, I stand by this knowledge that if WWE kept the Force train going and then turned him the night after Mania, WrestleMania 33, on Raw the next night, where after he beat Taker, would have had the biggest heel in the fucking business for like 3 years. Tribal Chief should have started then. Honest to God, Tribal Chief should have started then. If it started then, you would have had the biggest freaking ratings boost, and I don't even know how long. It's just another one of those things. It's like another missed opportunity. Because Vince was such a stubborn prick. He was so stubborn to a fault. So.
Yep.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
Oh wait,
Number
what about
one.
Zach? What about
So, just to piggyback off of what you said, Jay.
Go ahead.
The way they ran about it with the publicity was utterly disgusting. I mean, it's like ESPN did a whole 30-minute segment on College Game Day just to cover that for WWE.
Yeah.
If it's something extremely serious,
you don't do that.
Keep it off of TV. Don't try to get it to where you're benefiting from it. It's not cool.
What's this morale you speak of? I see dollars, damn it.
I feel like you lose viewers rather than gaining viewers because they feel like, bro, why would you do this? I don't.
Well, it's the way you sensitize your audience to the point that they feel like they know you to a fault, and at the end of the day, they know what you're about, but they still care about the person, whether or not you truly care about the person, and there still is that suspension of disbelief whether or not Vince really has humanity inside himself, maybe 2%, if that, Undertaker-wise.
Like
but,
milk?
Yeah, I see where he's coming from.
Like milk? Are you saying Vince has the amount of humanity that is in a fucking milk carton, Noah? Is that what the fuck you're saying?
Maybe. Although I wonder if that was reduced at some point.
Reduced. That's a good one.
Sure isn't low fat.
Yeah, low fat too. Yeah, low humanity.
Or skim.
Yeah, try skim.
I don't think he was a fan of almond milk.
Oh, no, almond milk, you'd be like, what the hell is that shit?
That's not good shit, pal. Damn it.
Well, I don't know. Vince and his grapefruits, let us not forget, Almond Joy's got nuts, Mounts don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we're also talking about the dude didn't know he was eating a burrito for years. So, I mean,
This is the same guy that did not know how to use a freaking phone at one point. Just saying.
Yeah. Anyway.
On screen.
Where are we at here? Didn't you have one more point, Zach, on this topic, other than the obvious fuck WWE for commercializing it?
Just don't bring that to light. Don't do it.
Like, unless it's going to... I will say, if it's going to end his career, fine. But it's like, that should be when it is. If you know he's going to come back from this, which, by the way, is another thing they won't tell you. And since this is open mic, I will fucking say this because I know it's controversial, but stop me when I'm telling lies. It wasn't actually that serious. It was beatable. He was told by doctors it was fucking beatable. It wasn't that serious. They caught it immediately. All he had to do was rehab, and then he came back in, like, what? 3 months? Yep. Something like that? He came back right in time for Mania. So, I mean, come on, man.
Which made it feel even more like a storyline.
Right. It's like, come on, dude.
I don't want to point this out to take nothing away from Roman and the talent, but I feel there's another reason why people were sleeping during that match during WrestleMania 35.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know, James. You weren't there.
No, I wasn't there. I mean, thank God. I could have been. I had a chance. I'm so glad I decided against it.
34 is bad enough.
Dude, 35, bro? Have you the horror stories of 35, bro? You don't even want to know.
The only good thing about 35, the Iconics won the tag team titles. There, I said it.
Yeah, it's not even just the booking. The fact that it was, I don't know, 7.5 hours long, past the fucking train time.
That's airtime, James. Imagine standing in line to go in that building to find your seats.
That's a 12-hour day.
There were people there probably before noon.
Dude, a 12-hour day for wrestling. Look.
And that is why WrestleMania is now 2 nights.
I love wrestling. I don't love it that much, dude.
Not for one company, I'll tell you that much.
No.
All right.
What we got?
Number 1, Ric Flair retires.
Yeah, well, in the moment, yes.
Now, granted, I was going to say, granted, this has kind of been undone by him going to TNA, having that run, having his fight again this year, and Jim Crockett promotion. But at WrestleMania 24, when Shawn Michaels is in the corner, and he says, "I'm sorry, I love you."
Bang!
Everybody gets gut wrenched right there.
Air sucked out of the building.
I told Jeff, I was rewatching one of our shows.
Yeah.
I was rewatching one of our shows earlier today, and I remember saying to Jeff on the air, it doesn't matter what it is. If somebody asks me, what do you think of when you think of WrestleMania? It's not Hogan slamming Andre. It's not WrestleMania 21, which I was there for. It's not the embrace of Benoit Eddie at the end of WrestleMania 20. It's those 4 words. I'm sorry. I love you. 5 words. Excuse me.
5
Botch.
Words. 5 words. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's what I think of when I think of WrestleMania.
Ha! The amount of times that Ric Flair's retired.
Right?
Wait. Is that accurate?
The
amount of times that Booker T was WCW champion.
5-time retiree. Woo! I will never retire. Woo!
Fire me. I'm already fired.
Fire me.
God almighty.
I'm already fired.
Helicopter.
Zach, we'll go to you next on this one. What do you think about the original WrestleMania 24 retirement of Ric Flair?
You couldn't sit there and actually believe that it was going to happen.
No.
I mean, you kind of had a slimmer, thinking there was a chance. But you could not sit there and believe that he was going to retire.
He didn't look like he was ready to retire at all.
It's Ric fucking Flair. I mean...
He's going to come out of retirement again.
Right.
Mark my words. Mark my fucking words on this podcast. He's going to come out of fucking retirement. You watch.
Time's Timestamp it, folks, and it won't be Ric Flair's last match either.
My bold prediction for 2023: Ric Flair has final match number 78.
If he comes out of retirement, please just no helicopters.
Hi, Jeff.
Would he survive the helicopter ride?
Do you want to? No, he did
He
survive.
survived Space Mountain.
He did survive Space Mountain. Jeff, where'd you go? Jeff, you're frozen. What a fucking face to freeze on. Hi, Jeff.
That's a great thumbnail for
that is the best face ever. What a face to freeze on. It's like, my name's Jeff.
Please stand by.
Stand by. Oh, there we go.
Here, how's that? Is that better?
Yeah, way better. All right.
Better?
You got something to say. Go on.
Well, no, I was just I went to the stream on YouTube and saw you guys talking about Flair's last match, the original first, maybe I forget what number it was last match, but I was there, so I figured I'd come in and say hi real quick and say my memories are awesome and I wish it had been the last memory, and it sucks that it's not. So there you go.
Is that all you got? Is that all you're here for?
Yeah, pretty much.
See you, Jeff. Bye, Jeff. Bye. My name's Jeff.
Yeah, we're still into the. We're not even halfway through the game yet, JJ. So it's kind of one of those. I was on my way to the elevator, heard you guys talking about Flair. So okay, I'll pop in and say hello real quick.
Hey.
Like, James, his name is on the marquee. Does he need a reason to pop in?
Exactly.
That's right.
I'm right.
I don't see my name on the graphic here, other than the tremendous open mic night thing that came out of the letters I used for Hollywood. So no, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
It's perfect.
So,
It's great. It's fine. All right. Well,
but yes, again, thank you all for doing the awesome job you guys always do here in my absence. I will be there on Friday, as I know Noah will. So,
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, it's tomorrow.
Hopefully you'll be able to rejoin us before we go off the air.
That is the plan. But Noah, just remember, if all else fails, I'm not there tonight. I'll be there on Friday. You can count on Noah too.
There we go. We'll get there. We'll get there in the plugs. We'll get there in the plugs. That was the best. That's a moment right there. Just face just frozen for like a solid minute. Hi.
For real, we need to screen cap that image and turn it into a please stand by.
Oh please! Oh my God! Yes. Are you kidding
Noah?
me?
Yes.
Noah, what are your thoughts on Flair's retirement from Mania 24?
Okay, so getting back to wrestling, it was weird. It was one of two last WrestleManias that my mom and I actually watched together on pay-per-view because while she fell out of the business before 2000, she still recognized and remembered the name Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H were always her people, especially Triple H when he had hair. Freaking still have the bruises from my arm every time.
Are you saying she wasn't? Are you saying that your mom said Triple H was not her people anymore when Triple H shaved and bald?
That's correct.
Oh wow.
Anyway, yeah.
All right.
Gosh, she's asleep. That's why you'll never hear her on open mic night. Anyway.
I think I disagree. I think now one day you gotta.
No
bring
one
your
needs
mom.
to hear my mother ever on a cameo of open mic night. That ain't happening.
I disagree. I think that's great content, brother.
I'd
love to know.
Thank you.
Bro, that's like
All right.
Brian Alvarez, and I know we don't like the Observer folk, but like Brian Alvarez having his grandma on and fucking giving her takes on pro wrestling, which is admittedly pretty fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's sometimes the highlight of my week. Little Grandma Alvarez just being like botching the Undertaker's name sometimes. Like, it's a riot.
But anyway, yeah, it was weird. And watching this match again with what my all-time favorite, Shawn Michaels, one of the closest men ever in Ric Flair's career, and just seeing the way this match was going, I was like, there's no way. I mean, yes, he's Mr. WrestleMania, he can't lose, but Ric Flair being retired, and then that moment, Ric Flair, like, giving to me, and the gut wrench in that corner, the sentence, the super kick, the cover, the embracement, the send-off. And then the following night, when literally you have every person possible in that ring, giving their respects to arguably one of the greatest of all time in the industry, if not the greatest to this day, including Undertaker, who literally kneeled before him. Undertaker kneeled before this man without an urn in hand, giving his respect.
Yeah.
You don't get that out of the damn Undertaker. Ever. In the moment itself, it was something that I was like, so that's it. Damn. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
It was shocking, but it was one of those fans was like, do I want to see Ric Flair still wrestle? It wasn't my see for me, but I never put it into comprehension Ric Flair ever retiring. And then, unfortunately, my thoughts came to reality, and you got Immortal.
And then you got Fortune 4, which turned into Fortune 8, which then turned into, like, Fortune 16. Fortune 500.
Don't remind me.
Nice.
As monumental as Taker kneeling to him was, what always stuck with me was the first and to date only time the Horsemen came out as a unit on Raw.
Yep.
Like that was big to me. And the way Hunter set it up, you know, I've been talking to these guys in the back, and ever since then, my hand's been kind of cramping in this position.
Yeah,
I was like,
right.
I
just like,
recognized
holy
that, and I wasn't
shit.
even fully knowledgeable on the Horsemen at that time.
And then for it to have been the Hall of Fame Horsemen, if you will, Arn, Tully, Barry, JJ. Holy shit! Like that was a big deal.
Yeah, of course, Triple H, the guy that brought Ric Flair to WWE under his wing in the first place, saying, you still can go, you still have a lot to offer. Evolution. You want to talk about things that wouldn't have happened if Ric Flair was not involved in the early 2000s. Who the hell knows where the people like the likes of Triple H and Randy Orton would have been in their careers? It's crazy. Again, the moment
James, your
itself
thoughts
is
as
like, you never comprehended happening.
Well, we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't. It didn't happen. But in the moment, gut-wrenching for sure. For me, this is 10, though, not 1. Because, like, I think I'd put Eddie at 1. Eddie's tribute show's at 1. I don't know how... Because, right. Lists are subjective, but, like, I feel like... If you were to make a list, I feel like this guy made a list and he's like... He should have put in, like, bold letters in no particular order. No disrespect to the guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy and everything.
I do agree with that.
You know, I don't know, man. Number 1, it's a bit of a stretch. It's just a bit. Just a stretch.
Putting anything at number 1 is always going to raise eyebrows. Let's just put it out there.
I mean...
That's fair. And I definitely agree it should have been in a... At least originally stated as an in no particular order type of situation, because everything is subjective. But overall, I would say that's a pretty solid list.
Yeah.
You know, when we look at everything once again, Taker's streak coming to an end, Raw's Owen, the SmackDown after 9/11, Daniel Bryan's retirement, Rey Mysterio's WWE Championship run, Austin turning heel, and then Eddie's tribute show, Triple H turning on Shawn, Roman's leukemia announcement, and Flair's retirement. All in all, pretty solid list.
It's a pretty solid list, but it also makes me think it's like different levels of heartbreak, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I feel like you could do like half and half, heartbreak, shocking, and then you put the ones in the middle that are towards maybe one or the other, because each one kind of really tilts the scale more in one way versus another. I wouldn't say they're all in general just heartbreaking, but if nothing else, they all certainly are memorable, to say the least.
Yes.
You got your thoughts on this list, DJ? What you got?
I mean, Ric Flair, I mean, can you really put that in this list, though? I mean,
if you're talking about just moments in a vacuum, I'd put it at number 10. But not
keyword moment.
Yeah,
these are moments.
If we're talking moments in WWE only, yes, that's 10. Like I think you gotta put that in there.
I know it's completely, extremely controversial when it comes to the wrestling community because given the situation, but if you make a list with the 10, I feel like Ric Flair's retirement would get left off for the Benoit controversy. I mean,
you know what? Yeah, but then you're risking that has to be number 1, like, or just on a list by itself. I mean, it's because that was just heartbreaking on every level, really. Like, you felt sad at first, and then you felt angry, and then you felt confused.
And people probably still are confused to this day.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's...
As JJ said, subjective. That's why when, like I said, you put anything at number 1 regarding anything, it's always going to be a talking point.
And then Wrestling Twitter came about, and everything got so much better.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hello, Matt. How are you?
We are just about at the top of the hour, so before we kick over into the regular topics for the week, we're going to run our first trailer. We'll be right back after this.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! 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 ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
So there we go, folks. If you have not been tuning in to Renegades Reviews this month, that is what has been airing so far and what is still to come the rest of the month. We just wrapped up our week-long salute to Scrooge this week. 7 different tellings of the A Christmas Carol story, plus new release Saturday, the Apple original film Spirited with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. A modern musical take on the story. Been good stuff so far.
Why did Daft Punk have to break up this year? That's bullshit.
All righty here. Coming in as our first of... What was that?
Nothing. Continue.
So our first official topic for this week, we're going back to the world of Sasha Banks for just a moment, because it was announced this week that, according to Frightful's Jean-Ross Sapp, Banks was in fact granted her release over the summer, but it included a clause that wouldn't allow her to appear in any wrestling-related events until January 1st, 2023. Sapp confirms that Banks' deal with New Japan is a go, and that the two sides came to terms on the last week of November. The boss is scheduled to make an appearance, as we know, at Wrestle Kingdom 17. As far as AEW goes, nothing has been confirmed, but many signs currently point to her being Soraya's mystery partner on the January 11th episode of Dynamite in Los Angeles. Will we see Mercedes Varnado in All Elite Wrestling next month? We will find out soon enough. So we were hearing these rumblings for a while about her being gone, trying to negotiate a new deal, still being on the internal roster. Apparently, all of that was a load of crap overall, and she's been gone quietly since summertime, with the stipulation that she couldn't do anything wrestling related until January.
Interesting.
Before we turn it over to you, gentlemen, even though he did appear briefly a few moments ago, Jeff actually sent me statements for each of the topics we're going to cover tonight in case he can't join us later. For Sasha, he basically says, in the interest of moving the show along, as well as admittance of just being over this fucking story, I'll simply wish Mercedes well wherever she ends up, but I'd be lying if I said I won't pop like a firecracker if she's at the Forum on January 11th.
Fair take.
To kind of put a bow on this topic that has kind of carried us through the better part of the last 7 months, James, go to you first.
It's one of those
What do
things-
you think about the news that broke about how she's basically been gone since summertime?
I think the whole thing is with Sasha, or with Mercedes now, if she is gone. Which, look, I don't know what the hell is anything anymore until I actually see her end up in the places that they're saying she'll end up. Once that happens, then I'll tell you that's okay. Yeah, this is real. Because you can't really trust what any fucking buddy says anymore in this community when it comes to the higher ups sometimes. Because even they get shit wrong. Or don't vet it properly and like to be egomaniacs about it to a fault. It's one of these things where I don't want another CM Punk situation again. I'm sorry, I'm quite good. It's not that I wouldn't want Mercedes as a talent. I do want Mercedes as a freaking talent. The problem is, you're going to possibly have her as the same talent when she goes to AEW, possibly. with the likes of Britt Baker. And we know how well that ended up for Thunder Rosa lately. Regardless of how you feel about the woman, I mean, both of them need to get their shit together, and that's a whole situation in and of itself in AEW. Do we really... If Thunder Rosa won't take Britt Baker's shit lying down, what the fuck makes you think that Mercedes, with the track record she's had in WWE, is gonna take any shit from Miss Adam Cole, baby? Alright? I mean, come on. That's where we're at right now. Like, I don't want another situation like that again. You know, I enjoyed Rampage, and it's the first time I enjoyed All Elite Wrestling in months from beginning to end. Because I didn't have to think about the bullshit, and I had a good time. I'd like to keep on that fucking trend. And a way to not keep on that trend is inviting people like Mercedes in if you got a person like Britt Baker running a freaking muck. Unless, of course, you finally grow some fucking balls, Tony, and start putting your talent in line. Then I say yes, bring her the fuck in. Till that happens, God no. God no, we don't need another one of these situations. I'm sorry, I love Mercedes as a talent, but it's just, you don't need that situation. Just avoid it at all costs until whatever. Like, and part of that's on the responsibility of the fucking talent, too. Like, Mercedes, honest to God, would be better off in Stardom / New Japan. She'd be better off in Bushi Road right now. I think she has a lot more to offer there in Bushi Road than she does in AEW. And I think she would gain a lot more being in Bushi Road than she would in All Elite Wrestling, quite honestly. I don't think there is any reason to bring her in except for maybe perhaps a one-off. You know, obviously you got the New Japan AEW show. That's fine, bring her in then. But as a main roster member in the same locker room with Britt Baker and Rosa and that whole powder keg, nah, that's a no for me, dog. Keep her in New Japan. Keep her in Stardom. Have her compete for the Stardom title, the IWGP Women's title. That's fine by me. That's about as far as I'm willing to accept right now in this current climate of people getting too sensitive for their own fucking good.
That's a fair take. The only problem I foresee with that, and then we'll go to you, Zach, next from here. We'll save Noah for last on this one. Part of what the fall apart was with WWE was Sasha wanted to get Charlotte Becky Lynch money, and WWE felt that she wasn't worthy of that. So, granted, we know that Tony Khan and his Papa Khan have got some deep pockets, but are they willing to shell out what Mercedes feels she is worth? I feel that's the bigger question here. If Triple H and Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon didn't think Mercedes was worth Becky Lynch, Charlotte money, and let me be completely clear here, I totally think she is worthy of that. But if they feel like she's not worthy of that money, is Tony Khan going to pay her that much? Is New Japan or Stardom going to pay her that much? Or is she going to have to settle for less money for a different company? Zach?
So I got three things. Jay, to piggyback off of what you said.
Yep.
The AEW's women's division has suffered so hard since Cody and Brandy left. It really shows, because at least when Cody and Brandy were there, they had a hold of it, and there was no, I don't mean to call her a bully, but she's a fucking bully. I mean, Britt's a bully. She gets her way. She's spoiled, she's gonna get it like she wants it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Sasha coming to AEW under one condition. Do the one off with Saraya in the tag team match against Britt. But if you're gonna have her in your women's division, then have her feud with Jade.
Yeah.
Do not push the Britt Baker card at all. Just leave it alone because you're only asking for trouble.
This is the only way I could foresee this working. And I actually pitched this idea. I don't even know how long ago. I'll piggyback right after you, actually. Because I recommended a booking idea ages ago where Sasha actually joins the baddies. And Jade Cargill kind of becomes the Carl Anderson to what AJ Styles was in the Bullet Club. Where Sasha, Mercedes, gets the world title from Hayter long after she's done with Britt. And then you have Ember Moon, who's the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, currently joining the fold with them as well. Then you have two more people in Layla Hirsch, or what's her name? Layla Gray? Sorry, I get the two names.
Layla Hirsch, you said it right.
Botch.
No, Layla Hirsch is Layla Hirsch
Injured.
is that's the Russia. I'm talking about Layla Gray. Layla Gray and Red Velvet. Go to Impact, get the Knockouts tag team titles. You have a very good opportunity here to have all the women there have a championship in their possession. It has not been done before, and if you really want to set a statement that this is where women's wrestling is taken seriously, and you want to make Sasha and Jade as at the fucking helm of that, yes, Mazel Tov, please. I'm all for that. Just please, for the love of God, do it after Jamie splits from Britt. Please, for the love of God. I agree with what you're saying. Like, that's a fucking powder keg. If Britt gets on the bad side of Sasha or vice versa, that's gonna make the whole Hangman Punk fiasco look like it was fucking, it was just some field trip, alright? In elementary school. Like, this is gonna be a complete freaking nuclear war about to happen verbally. We don't need that again. We just don't. So, there you go. Ooh.
I gotta say, for the record, I want her to get close to Sammy Guevara just because I want to see Mercedes beat the piss out of Ty.
I don't know.
But that's a whole other story.
Hey, I'm a fan of... Actually, I was a fan of the Ty... Well, I still am. They grossed me out on Friday because they kissed with John Moxley's blood all over them. I didn't like that.
Spoiler alert for you, JJ, when you watch it.
That was kind of grody. I don't spoil the winner, but that did happen. So the squeamish look away. I did that as a favor for everybody involved if they haven't watched the show. It's kind of gross.
Thank you, James.
You're welcome.
I probably would have fast forwarded that anyways.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
To be fair, I wouldn't fast forward it. The match rules. I will say the match fucking ruled, but
yes.
Turn away from that part. Every time they're about to kiss, turn away.
Fair.
That's all. That's my recommendation.
Does it have to be Jamie's title, or do you bring another girl into the faction too, and have her win the ROH title from the other Mercedes?
Well, Mercedes isn't the champion anymore. It's Athena.
Well, oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was too much, James. I agree. Will it get them canceled? What, as in like the? I'm not. I don't think it would get the. Oh, you're talking about the Sasha and Britt. No, I don't think it would get them canceled. But I mean, look. Even though their numbers are dwindling, they've survived the bullshit that happened before fine, and they're probably going to in all likelihood, right? Like Tony Khan and Nick Khan, or Tony Khan and Shahid Khan have so much fuck you money that I very much doubt that AEW is going to be in the pits anytime soon, right?
Ooh.
I don't think that's gonna be an issue. I think the issue is how many more of these fucking issues do we have to deal with before you finally get the hint and they just get like a .40 every week on Dynamite and they get Rampage numbers, you know. So it's that's my thing with it. I want to put this in perspective. This is coming from a person who actually likes Mercedes as a talent. I just think there's a lot of... With what you have already dealt with in Punk, which, by the way, Punk was getting way more fucking money than Sasha Banks ever was demanding for. Like, let's not even fucking stunt. And we saw how well that went, you know? So it's like, do we need to go through that again? Do we even need to take the fucking chance of that happening again? I don't think you do. I don't think it's worth the risk. But that's just me.
Zach, did you still have other things that you wanted to say about the Mercedes situation?
I mean, just if you bring her in, just keep her and Britt on 2 different paths. That's all I can say.
That we can agree on. that is a unanimous thing, I think.
And that comment that came up a second ago, you know, if that's a thing you want to do, have her in the Blackpool Combat Club, cool.
It will give her something different to do if you put her in there, to be fair.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, but Noah, you're the only one that hasn't gone yet, buddy. What are your thoughts? What do you got?
You already know how I feel about anything that comes to news because I don't really give a shit what news says. Because if I see it on my screen, okay, it's official. Well, if Mercedes cares about wrestling and money, she's gonna go where the money is at her price. She's going to go where she wants to wrestle. It's one of those things where you look at her mentality. She's already done this thing twice in one company. Can AEW, Bushiroad, Stardom, can they handle that as well? If this thing happens on the 4th to bring more Western appeal to the IWGP Women's Championship, Kairi or Tam Nakano galore, then I'm okay with it. I mean, Kairi versus Mercedes would be an interesting program. Now, whether or not that happens on American soil or Japanese soil, as I finally close this program out that I'm finally done with, it all comes down to scheduling and the approach they want to do in 2023. You all bring up AEW and her being involved there. If Saraya and Dunnerbreaker DMD can coexist, then I feel like some way they can make the Mercedes and Britt Baker thing coexist. But whether or not she's there on special appearance or long haul, whenever I thought about Mercedes being involved in the AEW ecosystem, I went straight to Jade Cargill and the baddies. As far as her joining a faction, I see her leading a faction because Sasha does not play second to anybody. You both should know better than that. That being said, let's see what happens come January 4th. As long as she's in a better mental state and you believe what you're worth, that you should be getting this and you get it, hey, she's happy. That's what matters. So I'm just going to wait till January 4th to see what happens and take my judgment from there. Whether or not that means she is literally going to be on NJPW and AEW back-to-back Wednesdays. Put that in perspective when you talk about January 11th being the Wednesday after Wrestle Kingdom. See what happens. But at the end of the day, when it comes to this business, money talks money. That's what she's all about. And according to what so far I've heard from my friends in Team NJPW, shout out to Keeping It Strong Style, she's already going to have a reasonably sizable amount versus anybody else in NJPW history, special or long going. And we're talking about beyond even what Chris Jericho did when he brought NJPW to more mainstream back when he faced Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom 12. This Mercedes versus potentially whoever for the IWGP Women's Championship could have the same result, if not more, especially when you consider how much NJPW and Stardom are finally trying to globalize themselves on the Western Front. So let's see what happens. I think both can definitely work in Mercedes' favor, but at the end of the day, it comes down to her mentality and the stability of the environment she works in, and the authority. Tony Khan learned something. Delegate. Impact Wrestling Knockouts Division Exhibit A. I rest my case, Your Honor.
I will say, and this is a little nugget that I didn't even think about until we were like deep into the weeds of this topic. It's really funny how AAA. This is really funny how this goes the way it goes here. I find it hilarious that he'll release Sasha Banks, no problem. He'll release Mercedes, no problem. But he is more than willing to bring in Phil Brooks just to stick it to AEW. Just thought I'd throw that little nugget of hypocrisy there by Mr. Paul Levesque, and now you see why I treat both companies equally the same in the petty department.
Well, to be fair, pettiness and politics go together like peanut butter and jelly when you talk about the wrestling industry. I see it all the time in every company.
Are you sure? I think it's been more like water and oil recently.
Well, it's not like one is supposed to coexist with the other, but they still somehow find a way to be in the same environment. Lord help this world. The bottom line, though, you can't talk wrestling without putting pettiness and politics in your article for the best stories or for the biggest clickbait. Hello, journalistic integrity. Why you think I don't follow, scroll, or listen to notifications? Yeah. Well, that being said, what's this? Blah, 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 no date, blah, blah, blah. Chicago, know the crowd, be hot like no other cities. Well, you can't do everything in Chicago, otherwise AEW would be in Chicago every week of the year. So, it's a fair take, Emmanuel, but there are certain markets that actually care about the wrestling industry or react to it more. Chicago being one of them. We saw what happened in Austin, Texas. The West Front, California is another. Florida is definitely another one. New York is always one. So, I do see your point, but again, it still comes down to the fact you draw the short span of today's society where there are so many other distractions besides the sports entertainment, wrestling industry, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Right.
And that's always going to be a constant problem. So when you bring in this talk of ratings, numbers, who gives a shit? As long as you still see the product every week, it's still going. Until you see a big pink slip that revealing this or this is no longer going to be on like every game show after every summer season. Honestly, who gives a fuck? No company's too big to fail, and as long as it's on the TV screen, it keeps going. What do I care? As long as I still see it every week. I'm not a businessman or an investor. The fact that we're so interconnected to the business side of things further breeds the controversy and the instability in people's mentalities. But it is what it is in this connected world. Thank you, Internet Wrestling community.
Thank you? More like fuck you. Bye.
Yeah, you can't say bye because the internet is forever.
Okay,
that's one thing that will never fail. It'll just get worse.
Hey, not entirely true. If I'm deep in the ground and I die in like I don't know 40 years, 50 years, then I can say bye to the internet.
Well, you can't say bye if you're already gone.
I can't say bye before I'm gone.
Yeah, put that in your living will. I'll look forward to watching.
I could be like the freaking Peter Griffin's dad, and say Twitter, you're a fat stinking drunk, and then fucking die right there.
Big old F you to Elon Musk. Yeah. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day.
Yeah.
Bottom line, Mercedes, it's all about the money. Let's see which company gives her the money she wants. For whatever reason.
There you go.
All right. Moving on to the next topic.
No. It's just sad.
Matt Riddle failed yet another drug test.
Well, live by the bong, die by the bong.
That's a good one.
Apparently, after Solo attacked Riddle on the December 5th episode of Raw, WWE announced Riddle would be out of action for 6 weeks to recover from his storyline injuries. As previously reported by Body Slam, the injury angle was done because Riddle failed another drug test and would be going to rehab as a result. In the midst of these allegations, however, the fact that WWE didn't publicly announce either reported suspension has led to Dave Meltzer questioning WWE's wellness policy in a recent edition of the Observer newsletter. The first said to have occurred over the summer, while Riddle feuding with Seth and Rollins. WWE pulled Riddle from SummerSlam and cited creative adjustments, delaying the match until Clash at the Castle. Meltzer pointed out that Riddle wasn't gone for a full 30 days during his initial absence between July 25th and August 20th. And regarding Riddle's current absence, Meltzer noted that 6 weeks does not equate to the standard 60-day suspension for a second violation of the wellness policy. Ultimately, Meltzer speculates that, quote, either WWE has secretly changed its policy or something doesn't add up. Officials did not comment to the Observer on a change in policy, nor did they deny the story being inaccurate. However, it's believed internally amongst talent that WWE wrote Riddle off for 6 weeks so he could go to rehab. However, one source told Meltzer that Riddle was taking time off because of pressure of going through a divorce, while denying the suspension allegations. Other sources closest to Riddle did not respond to the request for comment. Jeff has to say, it's no secret I've not been a fan of the RVD 2.0 era on the Matt Riddle presentation, but it seems like there's enough issue in his life away from the ring where he needs a rehab stint, and I hope he can come back better than ever. And if the reports on Randy Orton prove to be factual, then a TV write-off at the hands of Solo Sikoa gives Matt a ready-made story at the Rumble or even on the road to WrestleMania. So good on the company for not letting Riddle completely flounder without Orton. So my problem is the second violation, non-60-day suspension part. And this is going to come back later on this evening when we get to the main event and other actions that could have been taken in the midst of what ended up going down. But if you're going to fail the wellness policy and you only get 6 weeks off so that you're back in time for the Rumble and everything, what are we saying about the talent here? It's like, why should I take your wellness policy serious anymore?
Right. And I mean, not for nothing.
Noah, you finished this off last time. Yeah. Hold on, James. Let me throw to Noah first. He finished last time. What are your thoughts on this, Noah, and Matt Riddle's skin violation in less than a year?
I mean, it's one of those things. If you don't learn from your past, you're doomed to repeat it. And personal situations aside, which also probably don't help with the matter, I mean, if he's continually doing the same thing in a short period of time and not appropriate action is taken, then it's one of those things where it's like, the show goes on, you're another cog in the machine. It's one of those things where I feel like now, if he does it one more time, he might be terminated. But the fact that they kind of use this approach to keep a program going, even if it was delayed, it also shows that it's like, okay, you did one minor mishap, you made a mistake again. We're not going to necessarily hold it against you as long as you still carry out your plans. Uso. So it's odd, but I feel bad for the guy. At this point, again, he is his own worst enemy. I would like to think, again, this comes from a morality and mortality standpoint. Even if Triple H is petty, I don't see him as the same person as Vince McMahon. Also, thank you, Emmanuel. Appreciate you. It's one of those things where it's like, I just don't know. Riddle to me has always been one of those that I just have always looked at in a different way because of his past. And we all know what he does outside the treehouse, probably why they brought that segment back in Not My NXT. I hope that he figures things out, and when he comes back, it's a better bill of health and a better stable mind. That's really all you can say at this point. The way the WWE is approaching covering this, as far as, making Meltzer continue to guess and play inquirer, that's just, working the dirt sheets because clickbait, publicity, conspiracy theory. Jesse Ventura is not on the case, though. It's weird, but there is certain ways that they could have handled this without using a 6-week stint just to build him back into the Royal Rumble to go up against Solo Sikoa, which ultimately was, I think, is going to happen. I just hope he gets better.
James, go ahead. You were trying to jump in first after this one. Go ahead.
I just don't. I don't know what is going on. I know Riddle's dealing with a lot, but I feel like, what drug is it? Like if it's pot, like, isn't his whole gimmick is that he does pot? Like,
I mean, marijuana is actually known to be medically legal and also to be medicinal. But again, James, it's also one of those things where I work in a hospital environment. There is certain criteria you do need to approach when it comes to health information. So whether or not, this is based on like doctor's suggestion or orders, that brings a whole nother challenge to this type of reporting too, because at the end of the day, we're talking about a person's well-being.
Right. Which
due to substance abuse.
Which I'm fine with, but that at that point though, like
Yeah.
I don't know if you can really do that for
the rumor that I've
for weed. But go ahead, JJ.
The rumor I've heard is they don't test for marijuana anymore because of the medicinal and everything.
I've heard
so
that.
the rumor is that it was cocaine.
Whoa. Okay.
That's the rumor. Take it for what it is. You know, we here on Open Mic Night try to show some journalistic integrity.
Yeah, this is just
And
us
if we
assuming.
come to the forefront that is a rumor, an alleged, a supposed, we try to make sure that that is well known before addressing the situation and discussing it.
Yes.
You know, we definitely look for news topics like this to discuss because it's great conversation pieces.
Conversation
But
is perspective.
we definitely do not try to pass. We try not to pass anything off as hard fact. We try to pass things off with journalistic integrity, which again, I said earlier, is going to be a common thread throughout this entire episode.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, viewers, as we keep going through. Go ahead, James.
I must say, allegedly, it does make sense why Matt Riddle looked bug-eyed during the assault. It makes sense now, because
I didn't watch Raw, so I wouldn't know.
I saw pictures of the assault after the news broke, I guess, and I'm like looking at his eyes. I'm like, that's not weed. Is it weed? Is he on Xans? Like, what's he on? It doesn't seem like it's Riddle's, bro. It seems like he's like, bro. Oh no.
Better take it, Manuel.
I didn't realize that was the rumor. Jesus. Okay. Well, I hope it's not that. I hope it's just because he's going through a lot and he just overdid it on the weed, but
And let's put this in perspective, JJ. You talk about the topics we were talking about earlier from the top 10, how they used, a real personal, emotional scenario for a marketing gain. Seth Rollins brought known history of Matt Riddle into play into their Clash of the Castle program. That, I don't think, helped matters, particularly for the original bro.
Yeah,
No,
but
not
if
at
this
all.
is the case.
But you know that he signed off on that.
I would hope. Well, I mean, if it's
Supposedly.
on TV, I would think both parties.
Allegedly.
Right.
Yeah, let's air quote everything.
It just
mutually, allegedly agreed to the segment. Didn't go into business for himself.
Right.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. I don't think Riddle being a former UFC guy, I can't imagine he would have been uncomfortable with that in the context of kayfabe. Because, like, you can say a lot about Riddle, and Lord knows we all have, and we hope he gets well for whatever reason, but
right,
dude's through and through for the freaking business in a lot of cases. Like, he's one of the more professional freaking guys. I mean, other than sometimes he'll, get a little bit spicy and try to start some shit with Goldberg and Lesnar, but that's neither here nor there.
Fair enough.
As far as, like, wanting to build intrigue and wanting to put everything on the line to further the business, I'd imagine he's one of those top guys that does that, allegedly, but
It
Zach,
also might
what's
be the
your
only thing
take?
he has left, though, to be fair, James. And again, sometimes when you don't know how to handle yourself, what do?
True.
You cope.
True. What were you gonna say, DJ? Zach? Is your name DJ or Zach? What do I call you?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, cool.
So, when it comes to this, it has to be something else, because you absolutely, positively cannot test for weed anymore. No one does it anymore.
Really? All right.
All sports, all major sports organizations in the last year have come out and straight up said, we are no longer going to test for marijuana.
That's news to me.
Except for one. That's because, they're old school, which is baseball. But,
Well, wait, isn't wait, no, because actually two. Because you forget USADA does that too, because that's why fucking Nick Diaz has been gone for way too goddamn long now. But I digress. Continue.
Right. So, if it's cocaine, allegedly.
Right.
Don't worry, I got you covered.
Does this not to bring up another person? Are we looking at a Jeff Hardy situation here? I mean,
yeah.
I personally don't think it's gotten to that level.
I don't think so.
Again,
I don't think it's gotten to that level. Jeff had years
of doing it,
of supposed abuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not even supposed, confirmed.
Granted, this is twice in like 5 months for Riddle, but Jeff had years of drug problems and getting clean and falling off the wagon, and getting clean and falling off the wagon.
Relax.
And the shit in the ring with Steen and TNA, and the walking out of the match at WWE, and the shit at freaking AEW. Like, this is a long-term thread with Jeff Hardy.
Whereas
this isn't for Riddle.
Yeah. Riddle,
and when you think of everything he's been through in his personal life lately,
doesn't help.
I can understand it to a degree, but like Noah just said, it doesn't help things any either. But he's had a rough 2022.
Yeah, when you don't know how to handle someone, what do? You cope. But how do you cope? You seek a source that necessarily you think will help you through it. At the end of the day, it could literally destroy you.
And Randy probably was that guy for him. And you figure how long Randy's been out, and both these things have happened during Randy's absence.
And Randy get well soon.
So Randy very easily could have been his sponsor, for lack of a better term. And without Randy there to help keep him on the straight and narrow,
he's rolling solo.
Well, that makes me sad now. Oh.
Like I said, when you need help, get help.
Yeah,
seek help.
Don't
further fall into madness. Unfortunately, Riddle seems like you said, since Randy Orton's kind of been out of place, you just said this in the span of 5 months, it's only gotten worse. And I don't think necessarily, even if he did, allegedly, went through with the Seth Rollins promo in the Clash the Castle, including that promo segment, I don't think that help matters. But at the end of the day, when you don't know how to handle a situation, you cope with it, you go along with the flow, you just continue your own self-destruction. It's fucked up, but unfortunately, this is what people do to themselves. So, hopefully, what WWE just freaking did with writing him off, allegedly, for this, will actually mean he is literally going to either be forced or actually get the aid he needs before it's too late.
Fair point, yeah. Although I never would have thought of Riddle as a cocaine guy. Maybe a Zan's guy, but cocaine? Damn.
Again, I wouldn't know. And again, when you talk about a person's health and mental well-being, there's only so much that FERPA allows you to actually disclose to the public, let alone to any sort of outlet.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, again, tread cautiously. But as far as Matt Riddle, the person, dude, get some help and hopefully get yourself together.
Yeah. True.
Bro.
All right. What we got next?
Alrighty.
JJ, you got any closing arguments there? And we'll see Zach in a little bit, folks. He had to take care of some business. Again, thank you all for tuning in.
I have nothing else to really add to this one. I kind of said my piece in the beginning.
And Jeff said his piece pretty fair, too. Again, you want the individual, bro, to be okay. Simple as
Yeah,
that.
I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want anyone to seriously injure themselves or lose their lives with drugs.
Yeah.
You know, that's never anything you want to see happen. I've seen way too many people, you know, fall to demons and take their own lives with overdoses and shit. But at the same time, you know, the whole way that they're handling the situation internally, I have a little bit of a problem with.
Yeah, it's a bit fickle to say the least.
And like I said, that's going to come back a little bit later when we get to the main event.
All right.
So the next topic on the agenda is really the first one where the journalistic integrity really comes into play.
Do tell, JJ.
Journalism, integrity, ethics, I don't got time for that. So there was some stuff that came out over the course of the week about William Regal.
Ooh, okay.
And this hurts because of how much I love some William Regal.
His lordship, one of the most respected minds of the business.
First thing that came out was a positive thing where Regal gave an interview saying that Vince McMahon did a kind act for Regal. Says, Mr. McMahon was very good to me to the point of, and I will say this because of whatever he's going through, but he was excellent to me. I had a talent contract as well as an employee contract, and it didn't run out until the end of April because I played William Regal. I started for AEW on the 7th of March. I didn't call anybody else. I sent a message straight to the boss. Hey, boss, I've got this thing with Brian, and he loves Brian as well. He said, absolutely, you go. And he still paid me until the end of my talent contract. I was the only person who ever got paid by both companies at the same time.
Wow.
So,
all right.
And then this came out where WWE and Regal have officially come to terms on his new position with WWE, and he's set to start the first week of January. Word is that Regal will have a vice president position in the company, but there's no word yet on what the official title will be. Regal previously worked as WWE's Director of Talent Development and Head of Global Recruiting.
Okay, that I do remember.
As we've noted, Regal is headed back to WWE after AEW President Tony Khan granted his release after Regal requested that the option year on his contract not be picked up. Khan confirmed last week that Regal is still under contract to AEW through this month, but he is headed back to WWE. You can click here to see what Tony Khan had to say about the situation during ROH Final Battle media call. It was also reported last week how Regal will be able to return to WWE as a coach producer after the year is over, and due to the conditional release, he will not be able to appear as an on-screen character through 2023.
Okay.
Regal will be able to return to TV in 2024. Then we get this out of the horse's mouth. Regal says, there seems to be a lot of news about me getting spread around, Regal tweeted Monday.
Oh, here we go.
There are enough people who really know me, although they are few, as trust is a big issue with me, who know the truth. Unless you hear it from me directly, it is, at best, secondhand information.
Thank you, Regal.
Unless you hear it directly from me, it is either wrong or someone else's interpretation of what is really going on. And that means everything that is being said about me from every source. That goes for anyone saying that they have spoken or know me. A still tongue keeps a wise head.
Dude.
But a wicked tongue reveals the foolish.
Jeff had to say, I talked about this quite a bit on Talk Wrestling, but this and the Mandy story are a big reason why I ranted like I did earlier in the week. I just fucking wish more of us would be slower in assuming everything off the key of experts are automatically accurate.
I'll go first on this one.
Hi, my name is Noah Foster, and I approve this message.
Yeah. I'll go first on this, JJ. If you don't
Go
mind.
for it, James. Because I know you've probably got the most to say about this next to me, and I'm gonna save my venom for the main event.
Jeff did not say it in this regard, but I watched his entire fucking video, his rant video that is up on the Jeff Meacham Network as of right now as we speak. So I'll interpret it the way it needs to be interpreted. I find it funny that people give Aaron Rift some bullshit for allowing everybody to have a fucking voice. But they do not have the same fucking energy to call out the people that write the articles that claim they have the inside knowledgeable sources in the fucking first place. Quote
Allegedly.
me, bar none. I don't care if Sean Ross Sapp gets offended. I don't give a fuck if Dave Meltzer gets offended. I don't give a fuck if any one of those motherfuckers who think they have a source, Bill Batty especially at the top of the list, and Brian Last, you too, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck if any one of you think you have a source that is in the fucking know. Take what Regal fucking says to heart, and stop being petty BS artists and spreading these fucking bullshit like you have for the last 7 fucking months. Hey, did the thing that CM Punk say at the fucking media scrum get under your craw a little bit, journalists? Because whether we like what fucking Phil said or not, there's some fucking truth statements that he said in there, and all you're doing is proving him fucking right. You all
Bingo.
look like a bunch of fucking morons, and you all look like stupid asses the more you spread this information around. And now you're spreading it about a guy who is more than fucking respected for the contributions and the sacrifices he's made in this fucking industry. For your fuckers' entertainment, by the way. You have the goddamn gall, the unmitigated gall to go behind his back and go on public fucking forums and say, oh yeah, this is what's actually fucking happening. Fuck you! Fuck every last one of you to fucking hell. Take the dog with you. Fucking piss off.
James, JJ, Open Mic Night Society across the Jet Beach Network Multiversity Media. How do I live? What do I always say? What do I do? I don't scroll. I don't read. I don't have notifications. Seeing is believing. Hearing is accuracy. Thank you and good night.
I don't have an issue with fans speculating on how things are. Lord
That's
knows,
called a conversation. That's how Open Mic Night came to be, James. That's different.
that's how
Exactly.
Open Mic Night was a thing. That's how most wrestling podcasts are created. That's fine. What I have an issue with is that these supposed fucking journalists have to be such sleazeballs to not go to the direct source of the matter and actually get the fucking information. You act like you're fucking TMZ. Hey, you want to know the difference between TMZ and fucking Wrestling Observer? TMZ goes to the fucking source!
They tape them.
They tape them, they get their comments, they get their fucking things in order. They get all of their ducks in a row before they release a story 99% of the fucking time. Which is, you know, you can be the judge on that, but I guarantee you, if you compare TMZ to fucking Wrestling Observer, I guarantee you which one would have a better fucking batting average.
The only problem with TMC sometimes, it's just an invasion of privacy because they just catch them on the fly. I do feel like there is a certain matter where you could at least ask somebody for something rather than assuming
But the point is,
or just invading.
The point is, TMZ makes more of a fucking proper effort to go to the source of drama than the fucking Observer does, than Sean Ross Sapp does, than Bill Batty does, than fucking Brian Last does, than all these motherfuckers that claim to have a fucking source do.
I don't even know half the names you mentioned.
Like, it's ridiculous. Ask the fucking source. Stop like, even if they say something of, we reached out to this person and they are unable to comment at this time. Okay, great. So at least there was a fucking effort. Name one time you've seen in any of the fucking article people that I've just mentioned where that has ever been the case. I bet you can count that on one fucking hand this year.
You're asking the wrong person, dude. I don't read none of that stuff. Eric Brown does.
I know.
And I read a little bit more than Noah does, but I still don't read as much. 100% transparency, 99.9% of the articles I read are shit that Aaron Rift has taken and reposted from other sources. I say yes to no DQ.
Because
in no DQ, your opinions matter, and everything is reportedly.
Yes.
Not confirmed.
And that's what I always give to Aaron Rift. You know, he handles these situations the proper way.
Delicately.
He doesn't come out and say, you know, this is happening, this is fact. You know, supposedly, allegedly, those are going to be the two key words for this week's show. You know, this is what is supposedly going on.
Right.
With your assault, read through it, believe what you want to believe. You know, I've always said that you've got to hear both sides of the story, and then you find the middle ground, and that's the truth.
How long?
Because person A is always going to put themselves in a better light.
Yep.
Person B is going to put themselves into the better light. And somewhere in the middle there is the accuracy, the truth. And you've got to search that out.
You know, JJ, if that was actually more of a realistic thing, the judicial system would actually matter.
Yeah.
Fair.
Especially with social media. Here's the thing, too. Like, everybody demonized Punk for so long. And don't get me wrong, as I said, he's not blameless in that situation. But how long did it really take us to get the whole fucking story? Like, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
To actually get
and
the fucking story.
We still...
Huh? Sorry, say that again. Say that again, JJ. Because you
I said, and do we still even have it all?
And that's a fair point. But what we do know is that the poor dog got hurt. So at least we know the fucking majority. How long did that fucking take? That took months to get out. Bro, you know how quick fucking TMZ and sites like TMZ get out Hollywood stories instantly. And they vet all their fucking sources as much as they can. And I think that's the fucking key difference. And look, would I tune into a lot of these fucking sites if they actually started to take that approach? Fuck no. Probably still wouldn't. But it would at least offer the one thing, if you could pop it up on the fucking screen, JJ, which is the one thing lacking in the IWC, which is, I don't know, journalistic integrity.
Curiosity is a very dangerous thing, but it also breeds stupidity.
Just fucking go to the source. It's not that fucking hard. And if it is that hard, get the fuck out.
You know, it's funny. I hear that a communications degree is nothing.
Bro, I have a communications degree. I have a fucking communications degree. Dude, you know what's bad? A lot of these fucking people that have these journalistic integrities are from the fucking 70s, and you just got bested by a dude who's technically retarded. How stupid do you look right now? Seriously, how dumb do you look? Fuck me. God damn it.
Again, folks, you are your own opinion, but what you take as fact is under your own merit.
Yes.
Just remember, what you read, always put this in your head. Quote, unquote, allegedly. Unless you hear it, quote, unquote, from the person themselves. And a tweet does not mean that it speaks. It is plain text. Don't assume.
Yeah.
Because you make an ass out of yourself. It's as simple as that.
Merry Christmas, you fucking dirt sheets.
I'm gonna refrain on saying more from this because I feel like if I say more on this topic, then I'm gonna be repeating myself when we get to the main event.
Well, that's a
So
point.
I'm gonna hold off on most of what I'm gonna say about this one because everything ties together. By now, you guys know how I love to tie things together and tell stories. There's a whole bunch of reason as to why everything's flowing the way it is tonight.
It's a sequence. And you're brilliant for that organization.
Thank you. Before we get into the top of the next hour and the next topic, which leads directly into the main event, here's a look at what James has coming over on his channel.
What song am I going to listen to?
Hey! What the fuck, Noah? I heard that. Hey! 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 You stupid! What the fuck? I have your shit in here! Hey! It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my promotion video. Make sure you scan the QR codes that are coming on your screen, and make sure you subscribe and turn that post notification bell on. Check out the official Button Mashers playlist, where you will find all the Stable Wars that we have done together. You can also check out our watch party of AEW Grand Slam, Dynamite, and Rampage. Check out Shared Experience, the script by Mistress Audio and J-Hebert Side 95 on her channel right now. Check out our Retro Wrestling Review series of Survivor Series 2003 and 2013. Check out J-Hebert Side of Things Episode 3. JJ always promotes it all the time. Check out Michael X's Let's Play of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. 97 Halloween Havoc Retro and Watch-Along as well. You can check out Noah's Simply Predicting on his official YouTube channel, his simple YouTube channel, if you will. 2 episodes of the Don DeMarco Show now in the can, baby. Go check that out on my channel. AEW Spark and a WWE Aftershock on Owen's channel, as well as another retro of Full Gear 2019. You can also check out our official watch party coming up this December for Winter is Coming. Check out NXT Deadline, Ring of Honor Final Battle, and Open Mic Night on both Jeff and JJ's channel, as well as Noah's channel, where you can also check out A Simple Take, where he covers that week of wrestling. Check out our SMBZ voice-acted project over there on my channel. Check out Live Round's official intro, and check out their podcast every week. Check out the official intro of Weymouth Youth Wrestling and WYW Immortal. And finally, last but not least, Fully Loaded 2000, Watch-Along, and Retro. And those are the plugs.
There we go. So that's everything that you can tune in to James's channel for. as well as the variety of channels that he works with and promotes.
Noah, the fuck, dude? I have your shit in the trailer, and then you're gonna... What song am I gonna listen to today? What the fuck, bro? Hey! Hey!
Hey, I had to strap myself as well. You know me. I see your stuff all the time, dude. I'm part of the freaking thing. Plus,
you know what? That's
damn it, I never miss with that drum drops during Phil Collins' song. You should know me by now.
I can't believe, actually, yeah, that's what that was. I was like, wait, why have I heard that drum beat before? All right.
That was in the air tonight.
Yeah, well, not for the dirt sheets.
Well, I feel
fucking
it, Colin.
fucking
Oh,
cretins. Anyway, continue. Sorry, JJ.
All right, so coming out of that, we do have a little bit of positivity before
As
we
we always
segue
like
to the main event here.
Yes, I like positivity.
Yes!
Yeah!
Yes! The Prodigy rises to promise. Started at 14 years old. This incredible professional wrestler. Now the new NXT Women's Champion. The only thing you gotta look at in this screenshot here, this young lady, an incredible athlete, fucking deserves it. And for once, Booker T, you are not a stupid shill with at least one bright thing once in a while on your podcast. You did freaking good. What a moment for Roxanne Perez. Congratulations. Very happy. Very happy for her.
I mean, figure Booker T is responsible for both Roxy and Athena.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And Athena just became the Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
He's got a lot.
You know, but
Reality
what a
wrestling.
year Roxy has. You figure the inaugural Ring of Honor Women's Champion win it in September.
Yep, during
Then
the reboot.
you move into the horrific tag team title run that was 1 week long before Cora Jade turned heel.
Let's not talk
And
about
then
that.
she ends it there. What a year for that young lady.
This young lady's been in the ring with the likes of Killer Kelly, Deonna Purrazzo, Willow Nightingale, Miranda Elise, Mandy Rose, Cora Jade, Zoe Stark. This woman is the future of the industry now. The Prodigy literally is what she is. Her name. And she will rise to promise to the top of WWE, in my opinion. Because I don't think Triple H will fuck up her booking.
No.
Look. I'm on video for this. I don't know if JJ saw my freaking end cap video when I was closing the leagues. This white and gold NXT is better than Rainbow Splatoon Nickelodeon NXT. It is not my NXT, but it's a Turbo NXT where at least I can say I actually care about the NXT Premium Live events. I still don't watch the weekly show, but the quality of the product actually matters more to me. And Roxanne Perez has definitely added more to that direction of motivation for me.
Yeah.
It's an okay NXT. Damn it.
It makes me proud to hear you say that, Noah. Jeff's comment on this, I'm so fucking happy for Roxy, and what a 2022 she had, right? Start of the year as the inaugural ROH Women's World Champion, which I showed the image of, is now the champion of the reinvigorated NXT. Also, this isn't getting mentioned a whole lot for some reason, but both the NXT Women's Champion and the new ROH Women's Champion Athena are products of Booker T's wrestling school, so congrats to the Booker man.
I agree.
I would be remiss in not giving credit to the fact that his statement sending that in is how I knew that little tidbit of information, so. But yeah, I mean, the problem with Roxy's title win, if there is that it was overshadowed by the news that came out on Wednesday. But before we get to that, I do want to take just a few minutes to give and excuse the pun here. But I want to take a few minutes to give Roxy her roses, as she does deserve them. Yeah, you see what I did there, James.
Okay, good
But
fun.
Me and Noah said it when the match happened. Like we saw the writing on the wall at her rematch. She was going to become champion.
Yeah.
Damn right.
We knew it was going to happen. Did we know it was going to happen 2 days, 3 days later? No. That was bullshit. We'll get into that later. It was supposed to happen at New Year's Eve. Was supposed to be the match
And
on
you and I were
January
covering
10th
that.
or whatever. Yeah. We still get to call Bronathan versus
Grayson Waller.
Thank you, Grayson Waller. For a second, I forgot who actually won that match because it wasn't Carmelo like we thought it was going to be.
That bullshit,
was-
man! How's this guy not challenging for the freaking championship?
But-
Are you kidding me?
But bro, it was the dark horse that I said, watch out for Grayson Waller.
I know.
And sure enough. But yeah, it was supposed to happen at that show. So theoretically speaking, she would have started off 2023 winning that title, but she started 2022 as the ROH Women's Champion.
Right.
So we kind of got that a little bit botched in the storytelling, but, congratulations to Roxy, to Roxanne Perez, to whatever you want to call her. We knew it was coming. It's kind of heartbreaking that it had to happen this way because her spotlight got overshadowed.
Yeah.
James, do you have anything you want to say about Roxy's title victory before we move on to the overshadowing?
Well, right now she's being overshadowed by my.
Because I want her to get her spotlight.
Give me.
She deserves it.
Can somebody talk over me? Because I don't want her overshadowed either. Because right now she's being overshadowed by my fucking electronic issue, and I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I'll be happy to because again, to JJ's grin, this moment actually makes me care about NXT more. This moment extremely mattered to me. I mean, again, Booker T, he's still sometimes I don't understand the man half the time when it comes to his commentary, but I can understand the man when it comes to his integrity, when it comes to who he's guided in the industry. And like you said, both the Prodigy and the Fallen Goddess have risen to promise and are now currently champions in different companies. Roxanne Perez, Roxy makes history once again, another incredible accolade in her very young career where she literally is just starting. And again, the fact she's been doing this since she was 14 years old. That right there is a journey in its own right. That's passion. That's professional wrestling, damn it. And Athena becoming the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, finding herself, finding a renewed confidence, a hell of an attitude, and it sent her to Promise to beat Mercedes Martinez, where I was still kind of unsure of myself during that match. I thought Mercedes was going to keep it, but Athena did what she had to do, and now she's willing to do whatever it means to not only keep this title, but show why she's champion. It's really wonderful to see how far these incredible talents have come and why one of them had a bit of a roadblock. They have found their way back through the rubble. I really am looking very forward to what both Athena and Roxanne Perez, whether Roxanne Perez is a real name or not, I will say this. Roxanne Perez does not sound as stupid as some of the other damn names I've heard so far in this industry. Hello, Big Bill. But overall, Big Bill, not brought to you by Little Bill or Mario. Anyway, as far as Roxanne Perez and Athena goes, I think 2023 is going to be their year, respectively, in their companies. I really do.
Well, just for clarity, Noah, Roxanne Perez's real name is Carla Gonzalez.
That's what I thought.
So that's not her real name.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure what her first name was. Because, like, WWE using a real first name?
Never. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that'd be like, okay, COVID's no longer a thing. What the hell is happening in this world?
Yeah, right. Well, no, that if COVID wasn't a thing, that'd be great, actually. Cool.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's an interesting take there,
NXT
Daniel.
New Year's Evil, Cora Jade or Zoe Stark? That's an interesting question. JJ, you watched this week's episode. Was there any talk about how they're going to set up the next challenger yet?
No, because the main event was her beating Mandy. So Like, we probably won't find anything out until this coming week at best.
Yeah.
I actually might. No, I'm not there yet. I'm still thinking about the other stuff at NXT. I'm not there yet to watch it on Tuesday night. Nope, I'm just gonna rely on you. Not there yet.
Yeah. You know what? They kind of deserve that, to be honest.
I feel like Cora Jade would be the way to go now that she is champion.
Yes.
But there's definitely something to be said for Zoe Stark also, because she kind of got the shaft when she had her shots against Mandy and Toxic Attraction, which again, we're going to get to Mandy momentarily. I'm trying not to dwell on her too much right now because I want Roxy to get her time in the spotlight.
I feel like Zoe Stark, though, again, she's had her ups and downs because of injury. And like Cora J, it was this year, she found this new attitude that has given her a bit more of a presence, but she still is finding her footing. Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez makes the most sense based on history and continuity. Continuity. But we already saw their fallout at Halloween Havoc. You and I called that. So to go right to that well again, I don't know necessarily if that's the appropriate route. And I'm trying to figure out the other women, not just in that Iron Survivor match, but maybe who else could step up to the champ. I think about again, Indy Hartwell, longest tenure. She's got to be on her way to the friggin' main roster, if not World Rumble entrant, sooner rather than later. She has the longest tenure right now than anybody else in that NXT. So, honestly, I probably would just have Indy call her shot, take her shot, and see what happens. Honestly, I don't see Roxanne Perez losing the title because, damn it, worst decision ever.
No.
But I don't think Cora Jade should be the start of a program in Roxanne's reign. I think it should be a pinnacle part of it, but you need to build some way into it.
That's fair. That's a fair take. I obviously wasn't as invested into Roxy as you guys were, because you guys saw her on the Indies in Ring of Honor, etc.
Damn right.
But the reel that they posted on Instagram of her coming back through the curtain and HBK embracing her after her victory, that kind of hit. Daniel makes a very valid point. Gigi or JC could be one of her first challengers coming off the heels of everything that happened with Mandy.
That'd be an interesting take considering they've only been a tag team. They've never had a singles chance at the goal.
Yeah, granted, they're going to have to address on Tuesday where Mandy is. It's going to be the biggest elephant in the room that there ever was if they don't say something about it.
Right.
Even if it's just a little post on the TV about how WWE has released her and they wish her well in their future endeavors. But they've got to do something on NXT, and then where do Gigi and JC go? Mm-hmm. Do they remain Toxic Attraction as just a tandem? Do they seek out a new third to be her leader? These are all things we can speculate once we get into the main event.
Right.
But again, I don't want to take the focus off of Roxy because I feel that's what happened with the news that broke on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Is Roxy got this huge moment. She's in tears in the middle of the ring having just won the belt. And then the shit drops with Mandy and people forget about that. So
the thing is, JJ, because I don't, scroll, read, or have notifications, I did not know about the Mandy Rose thing until you all broke it to me. The first thing I learned, because, again, not my NXT was what I used to say, but now, maybe my heart's finally growing to this day. When I found out, what the hell? She won the title, I literally went to YouTube and watched the clip and the post-match. So, again, for Roxanne Perez to be where she's at in such a short time, in the WWE no less, that really, really, really brings me the promise when it comes to, honestly, my investment, not just in WWE and the women's division, but maybe even NXT. You're getting closer with me. I will honestly say, y'all are getting closer with me.
I'll take
James, now that you've got your tech issues figured out,
Yeah,
what do you got to say about Roxy becoming champion?
It's not even
And
that.
try not to focus on the Mandy.
Yeah. I'm not focusing on the Mandy
part if you can.
part, yeah. It's not that I even figured out the tech issue. It's just that the tech ain't working as well as I thought it would, and I might need to get myself a new multi-tap USB. But I digress there. Congrats to Roxanne, because I think, yeah, as Noah said, man, like she was one of the hottest prospects at one point. I remember we called her winning the women's championship this year. What an era for her to go from that to also winning the NXT championship. And then, like, again, Booker T's students, are the two top freaking champions, and as it pertains to indie feds, or in this case developmental and an indie fed. So it's really cool, man. I think it's just really cool, and shout out Booker T as well, because I don't think he gets enough love for what he's done for the future of the industry. I think he probably has a better track record than most schools do.
His school's still going, by the way, too.
Yeah, and they're producing the future too. Like Rachel Rose is coming up there. I've seen a lot of cool people coming through, and it's really cool to see, man. I think this is a big step in the right direction for NXT. I think it's a great step for Roxy in her career, and yeah, kudos to Roxanne. I'm happy for her.
Y'all can literally watch Reality of Wrestling on YouTube. That's how I kind of found out about her. And you talk about Rachel Rose. There's a lot of other interesting people that we've already seen across Impact Wrestling in particular. Just, show up there and test themselves across the Nagas division. We've seen a few people also on Dark and Elevation. So, yeah, Booker T, again, for all the slack he gets, and he gets a lot of slack for sometimes good reasons, because sometimes you don't understand that man on commentary, or you can't take the man seriously enough. And being a color commentator, there is a point where you're not to be serious, but you are supposed to be constructive. Work on that. Again, as far as guiding and training the future of the business now, he's doing a pretty damn good job.
Oh, yeah.
Damn right. There was also a video that popped up. It was on WWE's Instagram, a reel of, I want to say, 14-year-old Roxanne Perez outside of a show asking the Billas and Natalia for advice on becoming a wrestler. I highly recommend, if anybody has that social media platform and you haven't seen it, seek it out, because it's really cute to see her
That's awesome.
as a youngster trying to break into the business. It was an episode of like Total Divas or something, but seeing her talk to and Natalia give her a little bit of advice on breaking into the business. As we switch things over to the main event, let us welcome Mikey T.
Mikey T, good to see you, my friend. I'm going to say this real quick, by the way. Natalia, highly underrated, locker room leader across generations.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes.
continue.
Good to hear she's helping Roxanne.
Well,
Before we switch over to the main event, Mikey T, do you want to add any thoughts to your thoughts of Roxy becoming NXT Women's Champion this past week, without diving too much into the Mandy thing, because I feel like that story that broke Wednesday overshadowed this moment for Roxy. So we want to give her her due and her time in the spotlight real quick.
Yeah, the only parallel, the only comparison I really see with Mandy and Roxy is really the beginning of Mandy's run as the champion, when she had to really prove herself to all of us as a worthy NXT Women's Champion. The same thing is going to go with Roxy, you know. She's really fresh in the business. She literally just won she was in some sort of a finals against another girl, this blonde girl, and they were both just coming into NXT at the same time. Then she got into the tag team with Cora Jade. They really didn't have much time to blossom at all because they split them right up. They didn't even really get to finalize that whole feud with Roxy and Cora Jade into like more. I think they had one pay-per-view stipulation match, but they didn't really get the,
Weapons Wild, Halloween Havoc, and to be fair, it was their second singles encounter that started their feud since the breakup of the team.
Yep, but the thing about that is they could really go back to it now that she's the champion. We have a couple different storylines that will have some intrigue to them. So Roxy's really going to have to prove herself in the next 6 to 9 months as champion, but she has some good competition there with Cora Jade. You've got Zoe Starks, who I could see coming in to challenge her. There's a couple others as well. You know
Mandy
what I mean?
Hartwell?
You got that new girl who just defeated Alba Fire. Who did you say, Noah?
I was thinking Indy Hartwell because she has the longest tenured in NXT because she was across the black and gold. I say that'd be her send-off.
They actually just started that feud over the last few weeks. You probably caught it, JJ. They've had Indy get approached by Roxy a couple times, and Roxy's like, hey, what's going on? And Indy's like, we're not friends. She's like, don't misunderstand this. We're not friends. So they were actually beginning to build something there. So that would be a good little feud for her as well. So there's a lot for Roxy to do. I'm just shocked that she got it so quick. I was really thinking they might possibly have waited. If Mandy did not, whatever happened with Mandy, I think this thing would have ran through Vengeance Day. I think it would have ran through Vengeance Day with them too. But
No, it would be like
Possibly, I mean,
the charm type thing, if they did that.
maybe a rematch.
Possibly,
where
I
Roxy
think-
solidifies it.
I think the plan was for her to get it at New Year's Evil, because that's where Grayson Waller's getting his shot against Braun Breaker.
Grayson
So
Waller,
I think
freaking
the original plan was for that, but then everything that happened, and they kind of had to hotshot it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make the transition now, and we're gonna just get this out in the open. And this is gonna be a long topic, I think. If I can get my computer here to work and kick over the thing.
It's time for the main
Mandy Rose.
event.
Oh,
Mandy Rose.
that's a very, very nice pick you've chosen as well, JJ.
The shock
Well,
and
that was right
disbelief.
after she lost the belt.
Oh,
You know,
really?
it's like-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, that was from the match. That was right after she lost.
She was really just getting everything together. Look at that gear.
But for those of you that don't know, news broke on Wednesday from Sean Ross Sapp that Mandy had been released from WWE. He said that WWE officials felt they were put in a tough position based on the content she was posting on her Brand Army page. They felt like it was outside the parameter of WWE deal.
Third
That
party.
journalistic integrity that I've been harping about all night comes into play, because it was immediately to say that they were put in a tough position based on the content she was posting on her fan time page. So he already didn't have the right fucking site
Allegedly.
that he was trying to cite. Allegedly. Thank you, Noah.
I'm
They
here
felt
for you,
like
JJ.
it was outside the parameters of her deal.
What
Now,
was the first site that he
this-
reported?
Brand Army.
What? Brand Army page. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a fan time
retracted and stated fan time. So
How many of these
this
friggin'
this already starts.
You don't want to
the
know, Noah.
journalistic integrity.
Don't look it up.
Yeah, it's third party redacted.
Yeah, that,
site.
I know that.
Kind of like Benny Hearts, but that. Okay.
Whatever.
So this is where the weird things into play that I've been like.
Hold on,
This was
JJ.
originally broke in our group chat.
I hate to do this to you, brother,
And-
but it's doing that fucking glitchy thing again, and I want you to get your full point out without it being a bitch. Because this is the one that it probably shouldn't. All right, go for it. Go for it, bro.
How am I now?
You're good.
How am I now?
You're good.
Okay.
So far, good.
You good?
So this This news was broke. This news was broken in our group chat on Wednesday, and immediately I took a little bit of issue with this because of the person breaking the news story, Sean Ross Sapp. Now, let me just make this perfectly clear, because I know Jeff has had conversations with Sean. I know Greg Cherry, who's connected to Jeff's site, has had conversations with Sean and does some stuff with Sean. I have no personal issue with Sean Ross Sapp. That is not my point. Let me make that 100% clear.
Yes.
Okay.
What I have an issue with is reporting one thing and then immediately having to retract because you reported the wrong thing. And now you expect me to believe everything you say regarding this topic 100% factual.
Allegedly.
I take issue. I don't buy it until WWE says something about it. In the past, WWE has always posted WWE has come to terms with the release of so-and-so. We wish them the best in their future endeavors.
Right.
That has been their trademark for years. That didn't happen with this one.
All right.
So much so that I went to WWE.com and I found she was still listed on the Superstar page after she was supposedly released.
Allegedly.
If she's released, why on the Superstar page? Why has she moved over to the alumni action?
Yep.
The reason she got released, I think, is a crock of bullshit. Because of these supposed pictures that were released of her on her fan time page.
So, JJ, has WWE
We've
finally
got
put out the whole thing? We wish her best in her endeavors?
WWE has not. WWE has not, but I did find this on the USA Network page. I don't know, like on my side. It's showing.
Yeah, we see something.
The WWE has released Mandy Rose from her contract.
So, I am overwhelmed with all the love and support from you guys.
Was posted on.
Hold on. Yeah, Jay, you're just going to have to go back.
So this is on the USA Network.
It is so laggy. I didn't want to have to tell you that, but it's not looking like it's going to do anything else but doing this. While JJ is doing that and coming back in, I'm looking through the roster page right now. So as far as
I was wondering about that, James.
Yeah, so I'm going to M's now. It's a fucking goddamn pain in the ass, as you could imagine, on this fucking thing to actually try to figure this out here.
You can't search by name?
I can confirm, at least judging. Oh wait, no. No, it depends on if one of these NXT rookies is on here. So, who's an NXT rookie, if somebody can let me know? Like, name a random one so I can figure it out. Is like So Rikua a rookie?
Yep.
Okay. So, alright, so yeah. I can confirm then, from the looks of this, there is now officially no Mandy Rose anywhere on this page, at least on the Superstars page currently.
Yes.
So that
she has been since removed. Like I said, this is off of the USA Network Insider section, so that's as close as I've found to an official anything from WWE. If it's on the USA Network, you can kind of buy it as accurate.
Yeah.
So we get this information, and the reason that she's being fired for these pictures of her that leaked out on her fan time page, yet we've got Matt Riddle being suspended for 6 weeks, not 60 days.
For cocaine. Yep.
For failing a drug test of allegedly, supposedly cocaine or something even stronger, because it's not marijuana. We've got longest reigning tag team champions with multiple DUIs.
Yep.
And Mandy can't even get a suspension.
Immediately gone. Yep.
For this.
Yep.
She's just gone.
Yeah, come on.
Now here's where I take a little bit more issue with this. Supposedly she's making $500,000 a year from WWE. That's her contract. Okay. I think this comes down to money for WWE because, according to multiple sources, she was making $250,000 a month from this page that she has.
Damn!
10,000 subscribers who pay $25 a month. And now she's changed that to $40 ever since being released.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So the fact that their superstar is this marketable and they're not doing anything about it, they're not collecting anything on it, I think is the bigger issue with WWE.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And listen.
Let JJ finish. JJ, continue your diatribe, and we'll let James go after you. Because I know that this is the main event. You have a lot to get off your chest, and I'm not arguing anything you're saying right now. Continue. I want him to finish this out.
I have seen some of the pictures because I did my research. I've seen some of the supposed videos. Hell, me and Mikey T even got into a little bit of an argument about it in chat about these videos because a couple were posted.
A couple don't even have her face, like JJ's saying.
You know, so it's like, how do we know that these aren't some video off of Pornhub that somebody downloaded and posted alleging that is Mandy Rose?
Yep.
There's only one video that I've seen with her face, and she's in a hot tub, a swimming pool, whatever, topless. You can barely see nipples. Is
What
this
are you
really
dissing Stat Boy about that?
I love messing with Stat Boy. Stat Boy's my brother, though, Mikey, for real.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the
that
other
was Jeff,
Mikey.
wasn't it? Jeff
I've
was
known
like,
that dude
I'm
for
gonna
20 years.
need
But
Stat Boy's prescription.
yeah, because he's saying that you can barely see anything. And Jeff's like, dude, you need your glasses checked because we can definitely see something here. Like I said, you can barely see nipples in the video, but it's the only one you really see her face in.
Yeah.
And it's not that serious of content. It's not like she's sitting there with the women's title, rubbing it on her hoo-ha to make herself orgasm. I'm just saying.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You know, it's not like the Paige video where her
What
fiance
did they send
has got
the links that we don't
same
know
thing.
about?
It's not
Jesus.
That's the same thing.
It's not like the Paige video where she's wearing the title and her fiance is banging the crap out of her and he unloads all over it.
Yeah.
There's nothing that descriptive, that nasty.
No.
It's softcore at best.
Yeah.
You know, there's a video that
It's
is
nudity.
supposedly her
It's just a little
where you
nudity.
can see her in some panties and she's like reaching down under her panties like she's playing with herself, but you can't even see her face to know it's her.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
This comes back to what I've been talking about all night. And I posted in our group chat earlier today because the person that broke this news in our group chat, you know, and Jeff didn't say his name when he made his rant, but I'm going to go ahead and say his name here. Contributor to the show, Josh Mansfield, is the one who broke all this news in our group chat. So he made an apology earlier today about if he offended anybody with his stance on the Mandy thing on the No DQ review, which aired Thursday on the No DQ YouTube channel. You guys can go check out all of them discussing this topic over there if you'd like to see some more perspectives. I'm going to give Aaron the traffic and everything because I'm a frequent contributor to the review. Hopefully I'll be on this week. I've requested to show up on that show. We'll see if it happens. But since he put that apology in our chat, I went ahead and I replied to him. And I'm going to read what I posted here verbatim because it's easier than trying to spitball everything here. And I said, I was not offended by his views. What did upset me was the treating of a rumor as hard fact.
Yep.
It has since been proven to be true, but there was quite a bit in the beginning that seemed questionable at best.
Yep.
And that is going to be brought up tonight on the show, which is what we're doing right now. The journalistic integrity that we wrestling fans need to demand from our reporters, regardless of if it's Meltzer, Alvarez, Sapp, or Joe Schmo from Kokomo. They need to be held accountable for the shit that they post.
Thank you.
That way we don't end up with shit like this that completely has to be retracted because they couldn't get their fucking shit straight.
Yep.
Unless somebody brings up something else that I want to counterpoint off of, I am stepping off of my soapbox for right now. But I don't feel that what is being done to Mandy Rose is fair.
No, not even close.
I heard on the No DQ review talking about how Mattel called for this. Show me the written press release from Mattel, goddammit.
Yeah. Exactly.
I haven't seen that surface online.
Yeah.
Let me see that.
And by the way,
let me see that press release from Mattel saying that we want Mandy Rose pulled from WWE because of what she's posting on her fan time page.
And by the way, if something like this were to fucking break, you really think a goddamn toy company is being like, oh no, we don't want to make money off this? No, they'd be the exact opposite end of the extreme spectrum. Come on, get fucking real. Really? If you're gonna assume, at least be real about it and don't bullshit me. You know that's like bullshit.
I feel like my comment about the little daughter of the mommy asking about what she'd be like when she was 18 has more merit now than ever before.
A little bit.
Oops.
Oops.
My bad.
Yeah, so I have my thing with this. Everything that JJ just said about the dirt sheet's pretty much what I said, except a lot more
rant-filled.
Well, no. Yeah, mine was rant-filled too, but his was, how do I say it?
Constructive.
More constructive. Yes, thank you. My thing, so I really can't add to anything that I haven't already said and that he hasn't already said. He just basically illustrated my point. Great for me. I don't have an issue with Sapp either. I really don't. Like, if Sapp were to be on this podcast tomorrow, no issues with it.
Yeah.
You know?
I've never spoken to him. I'd love to have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
He's a pretty down to earth guy.
Right.
And I want to reiterate before James continues, I have no personal ill feelings towards Sean Ross Sapp. It is the wrestling journalistic community en masse that needs to get their shit together.
Yes.
Continue.
Case in point.
It is. And that's in line is the problem. It is so fucked that we are at the point where we are at in this social media landscape where no matter what you post, people will take it as fucking gospel. It is not that way. And it hasn't been for years. Listen. It's one thing to speculate, but if the fucking journalistic site went to everything that they possibly could to get their stories out, I wouldn't have an issue with it. But I go back to the TMZ thing. TMZ reports that they reached out to the person that is being the subject matter. They were unable to comment at this time, or they actually did have a comment, or their lawyer had a comment, and blah blah blah, and then the story continues. Right?
Yeah.
That is proper journalistic integrity there. This is the complete opposite. There is no integrity. There is no journalistic value here. And it's not okay. It's not okay from anybody. You need to be better. You are doing nothing but hurt the industry you love when you do shit like this. Because what's going to happen is people are going to go onto these sites and then they're going to just say what the fuck they're going to say. And then it's just going to be all-out war on Twitter. This is doing more harm to the business than it has done good. Don't believe me? Take a look at the fucking ratings. See you, Bueller. Bye. Alright? Be better if we're gonna do this type of journalistic shit. There's nothing else that I need to fucking comment on. Now, we know now that this is real.
We know now that he was right.
But he was wrong in his approach of reporting, is basically the point. Just because he was right at the end of the day does not mean he was right in the beginning. I'm sorry. Sean did not handle this right at all. Nor does Dave a lot of the fucking time. And by the way, unlike a lot of people, and probably even in the chat, I don't even have a fucking personal gripe with Dave Meltzer. I don't. I don't have a dog in that fucking fight. I know Jeff does. I know Aaron does, and for good fucking reason, by the way. But I don't. I'm just never going to. But I do have a problem with his fucking reporting. And I do,
until he does something to me personally,
I don't give a shit, right? But I for real can understand how he goes about his reporting. His reporting is awful. Seriously, there's no concrete evidence to anything he fucking reports anymore, and it's fucking embarrassing. And it's been rearing its ugly head for fucking years now. Everything's being disproven left, right, and center. You don't even need the fucking person fucking coming out to say this is bullshit to go and look with your own eyes and be like, this is bullshit. It's that bad. And it's not getting any better when you got guys like Sean Ross Sapp, who are supposedly the better alternative to Meltzer. Yeah, by like what metric when he's doing shit like this with Mandy?
Yeah. Like, again, not trying to hate on Sean, but are we talking about comparison dog shit to chicken shit? Like,
yeah,
it's still shit at the end of the day.
Exactly. And you still have a fucking paywall. You have a paywall for this shit. Fuck!
Damn.
Like, come on, man!
I guess you gotta make a living somehow, even if it is fully not, honorable.
It's
another thing
not
to
about
bring up
honor either. It's just get your fucking shit straight. Just go to the source. Take advice from Regal and go to the fucking source. Like, fucking Phil said this at the press scrum. This is what one of his main gripes was at the scrum. Again, wrong place, wrong time. But what he said wasn't fucking wrong. Fucking go to the source.
Yeah.
James, you realize that requires a certain quality trait and word that probably isn't think about a lot.
Yeah, that's
effort.
That's great. Look at what it did for the last fucking 3 months, 4 months. We just finally got the fucking story between the Elite and Punk. How long ago? 2 weeks ago? Finally, we got a majority, not even the full thing, but a majority of the full fucking story.
Well, I'll be real. I mean, you guys have probably seen me say it in the No DQ chats a time or two. When I see posts, like Aaron will post some stuff about, Mandy Rose doing a photo shoot. I'll go take a look at the photo shoot, and I'm just like, there's nothing really going on here. I'm like, she's not doing anything too out of the box.
Exactly.
So I really stopped tuning in to the Mandy Rose photo shoots. And that's why I'm saying it's kind of thrown me off a little bit that she actually has a fan time page like this. You know what I mean?
And even
a lot of women, a lot of celebrities are doing. You know what I mean? Because it enables them to make a lot of money. You know, but I just really thought that Mandy Rose wanted to make her career, in essence, kind of like being like Charlotte, you know, like, but totally different. I thought she wanted to like be of the highest stature of the women wrestlers rather than have to make quick money in this fashion. Because as we saw breaking down by those reports that JJ posted, she's making 500,000 from her WWE career. She has a net worth of $5 million. She's been with the WWE since 2015 or something like that. Sounds to me like the most of her money has come from the WWE. I mean, don't get me wrong. In recent years, with her popularity and like everyone thinks she's sexy as hell, of course they're gonna want to see that fan time stuff. But I would have just honestly thought that she would have wanted to continue building up her wrestling career because she could have really commanded. She could have commanded $2 million contracts, $5 million contracts.
Which, by the way,
could
she
have been
should
a
have,
movie
to be
star.
fair. Which, by the way,
Never
she
mind showing a little bit of ass on the internet. You know what I mean? Like,
but Mikey, to your point, and this is my point with this though. I mean, how many fucking women were in porn? A lot more fucking rougher than what fucking goddamn, you know, Mandy did.
Make it into the
and they're still
WWE.
one of the, and they're still some of the most respected fucking veterans of this day. Still, like I don't get that logic. I don't. I didn't get it when they did it with fucking China, and I damn sure am not getting it why they're doing it with fucking Mandy.
Well, China was a little bit different because she had already been pushed outside of the
It's
industry.
only different because WWE says it's going to be different, but the bottom line is they still did Playboy fucking photo shoot, so I don't want to hear that it's different bullshit. I mean, come on.
Oh, okay, no,
They,
that's
they
a
allowed
different
her
thing.
in Playboy, and then it's like, oh, but she can't do fucking porn? Why? Because it wasn't in your jurisdiction? Give me a fucking break.
No, that's a
Get the
different.
fuck
That's
off that
something
high
different.
horse. No, but I get
Because
that.
back then-
But even then, fucking, they do that with China, and now they're doing the same thing with Mandy, but yet you praise fucking women like Tori Wilson and Sable and put them in the Hall of Fame for that exact shit that Mandy did, which was like
No, because I hear what you're
less
saying,
fucking
James.
issue.
I hear what you're saying, but it's like they don't have something like that set up where fans could actually key in and actually see Mandy Rose on a more personal basis, on a more frequent basis. The WWE needs to tap in with more markets like this because it would bring in more fans, but they're really just ignoring it. Why does Mandy Rose, why is she not able to do this under her WWE, you know what I mean, gimmick? You know, and just do it more than E! News channel. Make it something like she's doing now because she's generating millions of dollars every few months. And the WWE is missing out on that money.
Big time. Yeah.
Which is probably why they were so petty. They decided to release her because she was more profitable for herself versus more profitable for the company.
But
they need to figure out how to do it for the company.
But that, and there it is too. Like,
I feel it's a PR image. A publicly traded,
thing worth pointing
multi-billion
out-
dollar conglomerate
The other thing worth pointing
doesn't want to be associated with
hold on
triple
Canon.
X content that they rate as such.
Go ahead, JJ.
Yeah.
The other thing worth pointing out is the second paragraph here. WWE was aware of this surface, so for a while this was not an issue.
Exactly.
This
Right.
was not something they were unaware of.
Exactly.
And then she ended up dropping the title yesterday, and she is no longer with the company.
Yeah, and
So
there-
they've known
there's the
she was
problem.
doing this page for a minute,
Yeah.
and it wasn't an issue. And now all of a sudden it's an issue.
Yep.
It's hypocrisy at its finest. You can't go.
Yep.
Regardless. And granted, should WWE making money off this? Abso-fucking-lutely. Are they rightfully pissed? Sure they are. Fine. I'll give them that point.
They don't know how to monetize on this, though.
But that's the
No.
thing. Who's the dumbass? The person who's doing the fucking photo shoot or the person who didn't capitalize on it?
Clearly the person who didn't capitalize on it, because at the end of the
There you
day, WWE felt that this was costing them.
Yeah,
They were not profiting enough from Mandy Rose. I see you.
And great a point, Emmanuel, too, by the way, because, yeah, they brought Zelina Vega. And you know what the funny thing is? Is that you have, at this point, right, a disconnect with your fucking athletes. Because if you did take a lesser amount from what they're making online and let them keep the fucking majority, you'd still be making what? 125K? Easy?
It'd be more if the
Probably
WWE
more.
was advertising. If they were marketing
That's
it,
the
it would be a lot
fucking
more.
problem here. And it's not like you haven't done this before, because, yeah, was it a different way of doing it? Yeah, but what the fuck was Playboy? Getting to know the fucking female that's playing nude on a personal level. So, I mean, come on. This is such a fucking... This is such garbage. She didn't deserve it. She didn't deserve it. It's...
Hey, Eric.
And we got that fucking Eric, but here's the thing, Eric. I saw that. I call bullshit. Because I think it would be the opposite way before it would be the way that is being reported. That alone just tells me a lot of these dirt sheets are making this shit up on the fly. If you go to any Business Insider, bro, I took Economics 101. Above all else, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent morally, the number one thing the company is gonna fucking go for is make money. If they heard that she was gonna do this shit, they were gonna fucking make toys fly off those fucking shelves, regardless of how fucked that is. Which, by the way, it's pretty fucked if they did. But I believe in that way fucking more than I do the opposite. I'm sorry. I don't believe Mattel cares about public relations when it comes to selling toys.
Have they ever sold a sexy Barbie?
Probably.
I mean, they used to sell Sunny. You know what I mean? They used to sell Sable.
Well, so WWE... Well, that was when they were with Jack Pacific, to be fair. But continue, JJ.
Okay.
Something else to bring up is, and I don't have transcription of this.
Yeah.
But resurfaced this week in the wake of all this was an interview that Athena, the former Ember Moon, gave after her release, where she was talking about how WWE tried to tell her to, quote, be sexier, like Mandy Rose.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
WWE is telling one of their talents to be as sexy as Mandy, the person in question. WWE knew about the pay, and now there's an issue with it.
Now there's an issue.
Again, these are all the things that I take issue with. And then you look at the videos, they're not that serious.
They're not that bad. You can't see her face
Guys,
in any of the other ones.
we have not seen all the videos, though. Let's keep that in mind. We've seen that one video in the pool. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more videos up there.
Can I be honest, though? Unless you're on the paywall, good!
Exactly.
You shouldn't!
That's the thing about it. They're not supposed to be taking those videos and putting them on to any sort of websites.
By the way...
Any celebrity out there doing that content, they are not getting their videos ripped and put on other...
Yes.
It's only when people do shit like that. So
Here's the thing, Mikey. Here's the thing, though. I gotta point this out, though. People that do this on a basis that A, it's private with a trusted, supported community that they will profit from. The internet is full of sleazy scumbags that want to lose their virginity in any way possible. and will use that to their advantage. Nothing is private on the internet, and people have used this to take advantage and ruin these people.
Which is exactly what fucking happened to Mandy, which nobody is talking about, by the way. So whoever the fuck that asshole is, fuck you too, by the way.
This world's full of cruel people at the end of the day that are in it for themselves, no matter the expense of somebody else.
Like, it's gross that...
Because, yo, she was on her way to an upper echelon that, I'm sorry, guys, she will not be able to achieve where she was going in Impact. She will not be able to achieve it in AEW either, you guys. I got a feeling that she was going to the top and she was going to have a run, man. They were really messing with Mandy Rose. She built it up. She was safe in the ring. You know what I mean? She wasn't breaking people's noses like Tay Mello. You know what I'm saying? She was really, even though I made that statement that she was the worst of the champions as the NXT champion, which I believe is pretty much an accurate statement, she was still building herself up to be among them women, and she deserved it.
The funny thing about this, you talk about, hypocrisy, stereotyping, you talk about continuity in the way that we have built this forum. You think about how many times we circle back to topics of accuracy, journalistic integrity, pornography, and the states of. It's all come to head, particularly in this story. I look at this on multiple fronts. You all know me, right? I'm simple. I don't read into any dirt sheets. I don't invest in any of these services. I hear what you are saying, but I also understand when it comes to a person's morality. And at the end of the day, you need to make money to live. So if an individual wants to use these platforms as an alternative form of income, I have no right to judge. That's their choice. Now, as far as going against company policy, that comes down to the corporate structure. If they allow it, aware of it, or find a way to block it with suggestive warning or prevent it. The thing about WWE, like you said, they are the biggest multi-billion-dollar worldwide publicly traded conglomerate, and they have to satisfy not only their own wallet, but everybody else's. Now, we don't know the true source that caused this, but for some reason, they handled Mandy Rose with termination versus Matt Riddle with suspension and rehabilitation versus the Usos that are now your longest reigning tag team champions. There is no real structure or proper approach to these situations.
No.
They're hotspot decisions. And at the end of the day, it only affects those individuals that they do the decision for. As far as Mandy Rose goes, what was her motivation? What is her end game? What is her overall intention in life? Continue bringing forward what the Lord gave her in the way she chooses to make a profit? Or was she trying to be the best possible female WWE superstar?
I say, why can't you do both?
We don't know.
I say, why can't you
Exactly,
do both?
we don't know. But she could have done both. As far as this story goes, we're looking at the WWE releasing a talent at the forefront. I think, and this is opinion, they could have done this differently. They did not have to release her because what you're doing is showing unfair, unequal, and some would probably say unethical treatment based on not only your company's history, but the other individuals in the damn company. There is no congruency with this place at all.
Maybe it has to do with the
What
fact
if this
that it's
is a
not
failed
main
blackmail
roster.
attempt?
Failed blackmail attempt?
Very well could be.
It is. I don't know if it's from that individual, but I'm not even gonna give him the fucking name recognition because I know who Eric's talking about. Fuck that guy too, though, because he's. Yeah.
You guys mentioned the Usos, Matt Riddle. These are main roster talents. Mandy Rose being a third roster talent. They're thinking they can just sweep it under the rug, like it's not really going to affect what they've got going on.
Yeah, and guess what? It's done the
You
exact
don't
fucking
give
opposite.
somebody. You don't give somebody a 450 reign as your women's champion. 3 days away from being Shayna Baszler. Take it away from her off of this bull. Fire her unjustly and expect it to just be swept under the rug.
No way.
No.
They
And
fucked,
again,
they
if-
fucked
Because
up.
in this day of age, where lengthy title reigns are not that common, how long is it going to be before somebody breaks her record?
Who knows?
You know, they're not going to Chris Benoit the situation and talking about the same amount of people have won the Royal Rumble from the nerdy number 30 spot as have won it from the number 1 spot, but they only show one person's picture from the number 1 spot. You know, it's something that they're going to constantly have to acknowledge as an NXT Women's Champion gets close to accomplishing that feat. If somebody does again.
What did I say?
These lengthy reigns like Mandy was, like Shayna and Asuka had,
Yeah.
like the Usos are having, like Roman is having. Those are things of the past. So the chances of somebody having this type of run again, slim to none. It's going to take another extreme case.
Pretty much.
I
mean,
we all were saying
Mandy Rose was treated unfairly.
Yeah.
We were all saying, when is Mandy going to lose it? Because she needs to go up to the main roster with Toxic anyway. They were ready for the big time.
They're way more.
She loses it, and those girls are never going to get that chance now, probably.
It's fucked.
Not just Mandy is going to suffer for
right.
this. No. Not just Mandy is suffering from this, but Gigi and JC are suffering without their leader now.
And this
She was what was making them relevant.
And
I love Gigi and JC. Don't get me wrong.
But
But Mandy is who made them relevant.
And it all comes down to, this is where Triple H does not have full control. Stop the notion. It is still, at the end of the day, a fully McMahon operation. You know this was a Stephanie call. You know this was a Nick Khan call. Period. You don't need a dirt sheet to tell you that. You don't.
And if you believe in a dirt sheet, that's your own prerogative.
It's gross regardless, because there's too many inconsistencies with the amount of people they will let stay under contract. That spans back, by the way, 4 years. I don't care how high up they are on the call. Let me ask you boys a question. What the fuck did I say about the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker situation? What was Tony Khan doing that was fucking plaguing his company for the longest time, which God now, hopefully, he's finally stopped doing from the looks of things if he's bringing the Briscoes in. That one can only hope. What was the one thing I said was plaguing his company?
Favoritism.
Bingo.
Playing favoritism.
WWE is the fucking masters of favoritism. They have a fucking goddamn degree in this shit.
Well, the bottom line, Mandy Rose, hopefully she can continue to be just as profitable as she is now, but hopefully it means that people actually respect her privacy. Because it sounds like, either way, that wasn't happening, and she got the shaft.
It's fucked up.
Noah!
I do want to.
Noah! She got the shaft, bro!
Really?
Really,
to
bro?
be fair.
God damn it, Mikey.
To be fair, Noah.
Noah.
Yeah, you kind of. You
Yeah,
did an unintended dirty joke there, buddy. It's just, sorry.
That's a fan time joke if I had never heard one.
What?
Shaft is another word for peen. There you go.
You got the shaft.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, hell, we
I
talked
do-
about everything else. Popping the P, pitching the T, and now I know this. Jesus Christ. Oh, anyway. Mandy Rose
Address
deserves
this
better.
potential
Justice for Mandy Rose. That's all I
about
got to say.
Sonya.
What about Sonya?
I liked Jerry's thoughts on Cora Jade leading Toxic Attraction.
It would be a different direction for them, but again, can you make that work is the thing. And the fact that Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan and Jesse Jane, have been a tag team since day one, practically, be an odd way to see them in a different capacity at this point.
Let me cut you off there. Sorry, but I gotta say it. No, Sonya doesn't make sense. Nikita Lyons done.
Nikita Lyons.
Nikita Lyons.
Sonya
Isn't she a
does make
face right
sense for a
now?
couple reasons.
Okay, go ahead.
In my personal opinion, Sonya does make sense for a couple reasons. Number one, she's good friends with Mandy.
Right.
The two of them have a business together, Mandy's Donuts.
I forgot that was a
So,
I wanna try
number
what?
two, Sonya ain't doing jack diddly shit ever since being released as an authority figure.
Yep.
So
And?
having her come down to NXT, taking her best friend's spot, makes sense.
I thought she was on SmackDown still, or doing
She
something
does
there.
with the same type of motif that Toxic Attraction does. But Mandy needed to restructure her image when she got sent down there too. And goddamn did she ever.
Well, okay. Hold on.
Nikita, to your point, James, I don't feel is ready. I think number one, she's a baby face, and she's had like 3 people turn heel on her this year. That may be an over-exaggeration, but it seems like everybody is turning heel on either Nikita Lyons or Roxy this year in NXT. Zoe Starks just turned on her.
Yeah.
So what sense would it make for Nikita to turn heel now and join Toxic Attraction?
Wait, Zoe Stark turned heel on Nikita Lyons? I thought Nikita Lyons was feuding with that woman that wears way too much makeup. What's her name? She was with Pretty
Lash
Deadly.
Legend.
Yeah,
No, they started teaming up.
crazy
Zoe Stark.
Yeah,
and
Zoe
Nikita
Stark and
started
Nikita
teaming up, and then Zoe
making a
got
run at
really
Katana and
aggravated that Nikita didn't help her win.
So they
So
put
Zoe
together
took-
2 people in a tag team and broke them up, is what you're telling me.
And this is why,
Within weeks, I believe.
and this is
Yeah,
why I don't
within-
watch Wrestling Weekly.
But
It's so confusing.
but irrelevant. Nikita is still too new to NXT, I think, to be the leader of Toxic Attraction. Yes, she has the looks going for her.
She has the Toxic
She has
Attraction
the
looks.
She has the sexuality to her presentation. She's a little bit thicker. I'll give you that.
Hey,
She's
thick
not as
ain't
skinny.
no
as
wrong
Toxic
with a little
Attraction.
thickness, alright?
I just
Hello,
wasn't
y'all have
really,
seen my girl. I
she
like
doesn't
them
have
thick,
the
okay?
trashy, look of Toxic Attraction. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't look like one of those mean girls type vibes, really, to me.
Hold on. Okay,
More
wait.
athletic.
That's fair. Okay, hold on.
And then as far as Cora
Hey, yo,
Jade,
Taya Valkyrie, where you at?
James!
Please bring
you mean
her
Lev
back.
Caria?
Frankie Monet, baby. All the way.
Hell no.
But
What about Cora, JJ?
and then as far as Cora Jade goes, she's definitely got the look for Toxic Attraction. But I don't know. I don't buy her in that stable. I don't buy her leading that stable. She's better as the quote-unquote lone wolf.
Yeah, Cora
Yeah,
Jade to me is
fair
like
enough.
the pun intended, your nickname. She's become her own renegade in NXT. I don't know what they're doing with her right now, but it feels like if she's going to try and finally do something with this heel persona, she has to try and build herself up as a threat to somebody else. I don't know who, I don't know how, but that's what they need to do with Cora Jade's booking, in my opinion, to actually make this heel turn matter, since Roxanne beat her at Halloween Havoc. That's why I said you don't frustrate her back into the NXT Women's Championship picture now that Roxanne is the champion. And to go further along the whole idea of money, marketing, third-party merging, Stardom across the world, Bushiroad, they literally do swimsuit, bikini, calendar shoots, and sell calendars on Token Shop. Stardom, we can market those things. You think about all these other female individuals across the other wrestling landscapes that are on these third-party engines, and they're in AEW and Impact, and maybe those wrestling companies per se don't see them by themselves, but it's not like they hold it against them. People including the likes of the former Iconics, aka Inspiration, Cassie Lee, what's her name? Toni Storm, just to name a couple. Nikita Lyons has the same fantastic.
I got one for you. Hold on. You just mentioned Stardom.
I don't know if that's accurate. We're
Yes.
going to go with allegedly here.
We're gonna go allegedly because we don't know, because we haven't actually done our research. But I do know this one. You mentioned Stardom earlier just now, Noah, right?
But if she does, there's a problem.
So Noah,
yes.
You mentioned Stardom in a minute, right? So Asuka is currently employed
What the fuck did Asuka do before she got the WWE? Softcore porn.
What?
Well, Kana was a different
Very
animal.
well known.
She survived Minoru Suzuki. Don't know how that's possible.
Dude, you cannot have this fucking because if you're gonna have this standard with Mandy, then I'd love to see you have that same fucking energy for Asuka, who you are pushing to the moon again, by the way, for the fucking 50th time, by the way. I'd love to see you have the same energy for Tori Wilson, who you put in the Hall of Fame. I'd love to see you have fucking Scarlett. I'd love to see you have this fucking same energy with Scarlett. I'd love to see you have the same energy
Scarlett,
with
James,
Candice.
they're already saying, they're already putting Scarlett and Karrion Kross as a part of that list of underwhelming returns.
Oh, Triple H is underwhelmed with his returns?
I believe
that's
it.
what
I'll
they're
believe
saying.
it. Yeah, allegedly. Fuck that.
Some of them. Some of the returns that have come under the Triple H regime.
I think it's more the fans that are underwhelmed with the returns under Triple H's regime. And plus this iron fist that Triple H is ruling with right now, you guys. Like, Triple H is like, he is like so conservative, apparently, if this is what is happening in the Triple H regime. It's crazy. I wish Josh was here, because this is a more conservative regime than when Vince McMahon was around. You're saying.
I will say, keep in mind, he's head of creative, not the main CEO. That would go to Stephanie and Nick Khan, number one. Number two, and there's a big distinction here. We talked about a few weeks ago now that what the fuck was WWE doing wrong? They weren't making video presentations for new viewers of the fucking product. So if anybody new came in here, guess what? You didn't know dick about them because they didn't have a video package. That's the problem. That is absolutely in Triple H's wheelhouse. He has every right to go and make some creative promo packages when it comes to the TV, which, by the way, would probably make a 3-hour Raw more interesting, just for the record. Just a word of advice there. It has nothing to do with... I'm going to be honest. I don't think Triple H should have come back. The more I'm seeing the way it's going on a weekly television product, he's great with the monthly events, do not get me wrong. But I think the reason he's bringing Regal back is because without Regal, he doesn't have dick. Period. I think Regal was more the creative genius behind NXT than it was Triple H.
There's a reason why the black and gold mattered and build people.
And keep that in mind, too. Triple H had Dusty and Regal as his, number 1 and 2. And when Dusty went away, God rest his soul, baby, Regal stepped in. So, it doesn't surprise me that, yes, have the live events gotten better? Is Triple H a good long-term storyteller? Yes. That has gotten better. The weekly television has not, because he's missing the key elements that make weekly television matter. I think that's where Regal coming into play makes... I'm going to be honest, that's going to change the game when Regal gets it.
And if you watch NXT, which it might be only JJ and I that watch NXT here, but I think Regal's already back. In all honesty, I think he's already back.
I mean, what? Allegedly, and I only say allegedly because, probably.
Judging by Regal's son's promos from 2 weeks ago to what they are now, it just seems to me like Regal is being more hands-on with his son right now, because they have upped the intensity in William Regal's son's promos on NXT. It's crazy.
Really?
Yes, they have. It's one of the most interesting things going on in NXT. A few weeks ago, they didn't really know the direction to go with him. Oddly, this week, he has such a direction that screams William Regal being back to me.
Well, keep in mind, Mikey, I mean, these exist. He also could have just called his son and been like, "Hey,
but that's
you
why
want
he
some
wants to
pointers?"
come back.
And
Yeah,
Mikey,
probably, but it's like,
Mikey, you said a very particular word there, conservative, and this goes back again how open might that constant continuity. Didn't we just talk about how SmackDown is losing like half the actual money that's expected?
Well, yeah, but that's
Yep.
also not because of Triple H entirely. To be honest, that's also because Roman Reigns didn't want to work a full-time schedule. Number one, number two, Vince kind of screwed the pooch with SmackDown well before Triple H got there. So, I mean,
Rerun show. Rerun
Domino
down.
effect, though, James. Just saying, domino effect. It's all coming to play. Let's just circle back, though, to what this is about, though. We're talking about a talent release, a person making their own monetary gain their way, and the fact that the company, for some reason, is not using it for their gain.
yeah, I mean, they had to put somebody in charge, so I guess Triple H was you had to go with Hunter. I just think that he has more chemistry with Regal, and that will get the best out of creative. So
Yeah, right.
I don't think he's back yet. I think that's a bit of a stretch. Although allegedly, if he is back, it wouldn't surprise me because it's not the first time he got paid by both companies at the same time. So
Go watch NXT,
who knows?
James.
He can do it twice.
Go
Make some
watch
history.
Go watch the last 3 weeks of NXT.
No, I get that, but it's like again, keep in mind, he could call his son. I don't think him being under AEW
It's
contract.
a lot more than calling his son. It's the way that his presentation was on camera.
But it's
They upped the ante on his presentation tenfold or whatever the hell the saying is.
Right, but okay, that's like
He's
the
the main player on NXT right now.
Hold on.
His son is like top 5 in NXT.
But if like Triple H's sons,
his son is about to be a bigger player than Hook.
But like, say if Triple H's sons were to go to AEW, can Triple H not call his son and give him some point and be like, and visit him at home and be like, "This is what
It's
you got to do
bigger
next
than
week."
that. If you have been watching NXT, there has not been that focal point on William Regal's son, and I'm sorry I don't remember his name right now, but that they
Jr.
put on him this past week. Everything had just changed. He was just 100% ready. Like
JJ, make a mental note to really watch out for this when we call New Year's Evil together, because I'm going to hold Mikey to this.
Yeah, that's fair.
You got it.
Either way,
if Charlie Dempsey,
Okay,
if
so
Charlie
let's go,
Dempsey,
Trey.
Regal's son, has a spot on New Year's Evil, then I will definitely make a point to bring that to your attention. I do agree with Mikey to an extent, though, because when I first saw Charlie Dempsey debut on my NXT, it just had this lackluster presentation. And I'd say within the last month, they've really started to chisel away to the exterior and start to fix the rudder of the ship, guiding him where he needs to be. He's been more intense. His promos have been fire. Everything about him in the ring reminds me of his daddy. Everything. So I definitely agree with what he's saying here and how they've altered the course on him a little bit to where maybe not top 5, Mikey. Because I think top 5, honestly, right now would probably be Braun, JD, Waller, since he won that Iron Survivor thing, Mello, and then
Gacy?
Probably Gacy, yeah, with the way things have been going. Ilya would be in there if he wasn't injured.
Damn it.
The Creeds would be in there.
Yep.
You know, if they were doing a little bit. I would definitely say Dempsey is probably top 10. You also got the Duke Andre Chase thing going right now.
Duke is
which
funny.
is
I'm
really
hoping this
catching
isn't
some
just
traction.
Duke turning his back on him.
Damn high school drama, it sounds like, where he just wants to hit the girl.
Hey, listen though. When does he go?
Chase you. I'm sorry, Mikey. I'm sorry, Mikey, that I had to burst your bubble about Charlie Dempsey, but this was a teachable moment.
But I hope Duke doesn't just turn his back on Chase U. That would be some BS.
What if he does, and then he has to call up his long lost brother Bull Dempsey, and then Bull Charlie. You know, he's Bull Charlie, Charlie Bull.
Big Bill.
Now they need to rebuild that tag division. But then again, they took the tag titles off the Silent and Deadly or whatever the hell their name
Pretty
is.
Deadly.
Pretty
What
Deadly.
the hell is tag team
Silent
wrestling in
but deadly.
WWE? Shut up! What the hell is tag team wrestling in fucking WWE when you got blueberry, strawberry straps that aren't even real championships, are the only real actual team in your damn company, and you can't even build a freaking tag team division in this NXT? Tag team wrestling is fucking relevant in WWE, and I stand by that until further fucking notice.
That's fair. That's a fair
No,
take.
If that didn't come out
tag team
glitched,
wrestling in NXT, Noah.
James, if that didn't come out glitched on the final video, put that in our goddamn
Oh,
highlights.
trust me. No, StreamYard's
That's
pretty
great.
good on that front. Yeah, we're good. And I also have my stream recording, so we got all of that.
But I digress.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But put a bow on this topic and to circle it back around to Mandy. You know, at the end of the day, she just got a bad deal. Mikey, I apologize for inciting you in the group chat and getting it into it with you, but
It's all good, bro.
I've just really become passionate about Mandy and Toxic Attraction. I was seriously invested in this trio.
Yeah,
You
it's
and
just
probably anybody else that was watching
for
WWE
things
for
to
the first
go
time in a
the
decade.
way for things to go the way they did with her, when, like I said, you've got a guy that should be suspended for 60 days for second violation of a wellness policy, who's only going to be out of action for 6 weeks.
Okay. They shortened
And
it
you
to 2
can't give Mandy
A bone.
notice, a 30-day
bone,
suspension.
James.
That was intentional this time.
I'm sure it was, James. That's why I tried to avoid it.
Damn
But,
it,
you know,
James! You fucking idiot!
Yeah, we gotta get.
At
That's
least
why I did it.
at least approach her to be like, hey, you need to take this down now, or else
WWE
repercussions are going to happen. At least give her a 30-day suspension. You know, you have 30 days to take this down, or you're going to be terminated. Give her something,
Yep.
especially after she's just had this run.
And
This
they were
historic
aware,
run.
and they were aware of it to a degree. This hypocrisy of a bureaucracy in this fucking multi-billion-dollar company is literally the most noticeable thing behind the scenes that bleeds on fucking screen. And don't get me started, King Mike X, on the women's tag team wrestling. Women's tag team wrestling, 3-word sentence that actually has some legitimacy in WWE.
Yeah. I can't confirm that. Oh, he confirmed it. What about Eric? You're good. You're the bearer of all things news. Can you let us know if Scarlett has one? Thank you. Bye. For educational.
I was just trying to see if Mandy had ever been suspended before, but obviously you're not going to find that in any recent Google searches.
To my knowledge, she hadn't. To my knowledge, she hadn't, and that's
And Mikey, speaking as a person from IT, Googling anything is the most dangerous thing you could do, not just to your computer, but to your mentality, because chances are what you Google is going to be opinion that could be carried as fact. Allegedly.
Oh, thanks.
well,
Eric.
supposedly.
I mean,
that's
Eric
the last
really is
topic
doing
that
his
we
research.
have today.
He's doing his research over here. It's just crazy over here. Apparently, he provided links. What the fuck, Eric? What are you doing, bro?
And again, I stand by my statement. WWE is the definition of a hypocritical bureaucracy that at the end of the day, this multi-billion-dollar, publicly traded, worldwide recognized company is about the money. They just don't know how to use every revenue stream to their fullest capability. Case in point.
Yeah.
There we go. I do still have Jeff's quote that I want to bring up for this topic.
So
He
I've
said,
had a
"So
few
I
more
haven't-"
days to really think about this.
There we go.
Regardless of how any of us feel about WWE, The bottom line ultimately comes down to whatever is explicitly stated in a WWE talent contract, plus the fact that WWE has active sponsorships and partnerships with companies that will not be comfortable for or go along with content such as what Mandy had on that site, whether it's paywall or not. Again, WWE is not ran by Triple H. It is ran by the investors, the network, the sponsors, and somehow Snickers that has nuts doesn't care for this? All right, whatever.
Hey, you know, if you're getting paid a salary by a company and they say that you can't put your likeness out there unless it's on their property, I mean, that's what you're getting paid $1 million a year or 500,000 or, you know what I mean, in your various merchandise deals. You've got to respect that. You know what I mean? In this business, in this entertainment business, you at least got to respect that. That's what's going on with The Rock right now with him, all the, you know what I mean? All the red tape around The Rock returning. Is he going to have a movie coming out? He's got to have respect to the movie companies putting $200 million into their production.
Is he going to regret doing Black Adam?
What?
He says he's going to regret doing Black Adam.
He straight up said that. Just figured I'd
The Rock?
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, Mikey, let's not forget he's also rebooting the XFL. But again, to play what JJ said, if the fucking company had any inkling of this, there should have been some sort of warning, not hot shot action on the spot where it's like a zero tolerance policy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Communication is fucking key. Why the fuck does this society not understand that?
Maybe with the XFL coming back, that's going to lead to The Rock actually coming and, coming back for WrestleMania.
Wait, I thought you were going to somehow say with the XFL coming back, it was going to help communication. I was like, wait, what? Wait, what?
But damn it, man. Why didn't they just save this Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn tag team match for the Royal Rumble?
Because that would be too creative.
I appreciate that he's just bringing up topics on the fucking fly because these are pretty fucking funny. We're just having a ball with these.
Oh, that's what we do. We have a good time. We shoot the shit. And
What
we
are they going to do? Are they going to subject me to Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns again at the Royal Rumble?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Probably.
No.
Either that or it'll be Cena.
With our plan of Sheamus.
I want to see. I actually want to see Cena versus Reigns this time around, though. Again. Because this would be
in a tag match.
The tag capacity, James. But
what did you mean, Owens, James?
No. He literally was talking about John Cena versus Roman Reigns 1-on-1.
Because I'd like to see it again. I don't know. They could have. I feel like I'd be more invested in it this time.
Because John Cena's the bigger draw.
No. Roman right now is the bigger fucking draw, but him and Cena would be pretty good.
What they do it 18 months ago?
Yeah, it was literally at the freaking SummerSlam.
I know.
Last year.
Yeah, but you know why? Because, fucking better times.
Nobody's pinning Roman Reigns, though, on SmackDown.
No shit. I know that.
It's going to be...
Sammy.
Kevin Owens pinned Sami Zayn.
It's going to be Roman Reigns walking away from Sami Zayn, I'm going to have to say.
That's a hot take. But that is how you build the tension into the Royal Rumble where Roman versus Kevin Owens could happen, but Sami Zayn is cornering Roman Reigns.
How you doing, JJ? How you doing?
Oh, he's just taking it in. I think we're helping his mood. I heard him laugh a couple of times. We stopped saying her name. We talked about fuck the WWE and their bureaucracy and hypocrisy. I think this is a nice, light way of putting it out. I ranted once, twice. I lost damn count. I'm not going to rant about women's tag teams because we'll be here for another hour. And again,
okay, I got a better one. All right.
At least I'm not going in on Roman Reigns versus Jake Paul this week.
What?
Remember a few weeks ago I was going in about that? I was like, it's happening at WrestleMania. Damn it!
Man. Wait, I will miss WrestleMania if that happens.
Impromptu top 5 for you. Top five matches. It's Christmas themed too. Top 5 matches in December to Dismember. The Extreme Elimination Chamber at number 5. The
Extreme Elimination Chamber is the biggest fucking mockery of that structure. You're telling me you got Bobby Lashley in a freaking pod.
Let me finish the joke.
You're literally bringing up that black note in this company's stupid controversial history, James.
You brought up
Let
Dismember.
me finish the joke.
You brought up December to Dismember.
That is a joke in general. That is a fucking joke in general.
Where did Mikey T go?
And Mikey T got fucking cut off. Thanks,
Hold on.
Mother Nature.
Wait, hold on. No, let me finish the joke.
Okay, no. Listen. I gotta turn my volume all the way up for this. All right. No. Top 5 matches here. Let me. The Extreme Elimination Chamber at number 5. Number 4 is the M&M Hardy's tag match. Number 3 is Heyman versus Vince. Number 2 is Dreamer versus the Ramp. And number 1 is Vince versus the fans of ECW. Did you get the joke? Did you get the joke? Did you get the joke now? I was going there and then you cut me off.
WWE is still a fucking joke.
I know! But did you get the joke that with the December? It just... I didn't name actual matches other than the actual 2 in the beginning. Then I fucked everything else up. Yeah, see? That was the joke.
Let me just go ahead and look at my latest therapist bill.
Alright, poor Mikey T. Alright, let's wrap this up. We're waffling at this point.
Okay, here it is. Got it.
Oh my god.
You dickhead.
That's all, folks.
JJ.
Wrap this thing up, JJ. I got church in 6 hours. Lord have mercy on our souls.
I agree.
Oh god. All right. Time to wrap things up. Time to start the shills and everything. James, what have you got to plug for us this week?
So I other than everything that I plugged in the beginning, I only have 2. I have hold on. I almost forgot about my Let's Play. That's a bad thing. Oh, Glens. I almost forgot about that. And then I could share my screen. Botch.
Botch. Michael Ron. Freaking broke.
Okay, cool. Alright, here we go. I'm going to share my screen now. Share screen 1. I don't need the share system audio because I'm not sharing audio. Okay. I have things upcoming. And they're all pretty fucking cool. So, there's also Holiday Bash coming up. We decided at last minute that, hey, we had such a fun time with the Rampage. It was pretty cool. So, we have the Dynamite one first. Go check it out. So, AEW Holiday Bash, Dynamite Live Reactions, FTW Productions Watch Party. Go check it out. It's going to be on my channel, the main hub for FTW. You'll also see the Rampage one. And you'll notice I did the green light hue for Dynamite and the red light hue for Rampage. So it should be easy to tell the 2 apart. Okay, cool. On top of that, I got NASCAR Thunder 2003 Season Mode Part 2, where I'm with the boys and I'm driving around in circles. So go check it out. I promise it's a lot more funnier than it actually sounds. And yeah, there you go. That's all I have recent that I need to plug.
All right. Sounds good. Over on my side of things, tomorrow is going to be another edition of the War Zone, the weekly acquisition report, where I show off the newest additions to my ever-growing movie library. And then I kick off a week of what I've been referring to as Christmas chestnuts. These are the must-watches every year for me and my family. We've got a little known film starring John Denver, the musician, called The Christmas Gift, the Santa Claus trilogy, Home Alone and Home Alone 2, Christmas Eve Will Be It's a Wonderful Life, and Miracle on 34th Street on Christmas Day. We've also got Stat Boy Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou this coming Tuesday. Make sure you tune for their Raw recap, Dynamite recap, and SmackDown recaps, as well as the No DQ reviews, which myself, Noah, Jeff occasionally appear on. Congratulations to the Hall of Fame class of 2022 once again. You've got the No DQ awards that you can vote for over on the website. I believe that's still going. Let me see here. And then next Friday, the episode that Noah is dreading the most.
Yeah, boy. Yes. Hello.
The eve of Christmas Eve Spectacular. It's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be next week. No, it's your last chance to do your spiel.
For $5 super chats, gonna spin the wheel of carols.
Get your kids from the airport after graduation.
And all of us
Prepare for your Christmas vacation.
will participate in singing these
Go into
songs a cappella.
hibernation.
Noah cracks me up with this shit.
That's really good.
I've told Noah, James, I've told Noah in private that if he didn't fight this as much as he has been, people probably won't even super chat. But as much as he's resisted this, people are going to be shilling money left and right our way just to see Noah Foster sing Christmas carols.
Focus on your own Christmas celebration. Worry about your movie traditions. Eat Christmas cookies.
And we'll probably be doing a lot of that on the air because
Stuff your
there's not,
stocking. Wrap your gifts. Go to bed early.
there's not going to be any wrestling talk unless it gets super chatted as a topic because we're talking Christmas traditions, we're talking Christmas movies, we're
Play your
talking
Switch.
Christmas songs, we're talking December to
Fill the snow
Dismember.
whenever it snows. Go outside.
We're
Make a wish on a star.
We're talking WWE portrayals of
Get
Santa.
your Christmas photo in order.
We're talking December to Dismember, which Noah loves. His favorite pay-per-view of all time.
God help me.
Hey, Noah, you're a marketing genius, bro. I'm proud of you.
And then we wrap up the year with our coast-to-coast New Year's Eve countdown.
Oh, that would be
almighty.
Which, unfortunately, Jeff is going to have to work that entire shift.
Oh,
he's working from like 7 p.m. until 3:30 in the morning.
No!
Hey, blame the House of Mouse.
Curse you,
Jeff has
corporate
to work.
world trying to take over all media and television! Dadgummit! Of all the freaking nights to cause this!
Oh, it's okay.
But I have been told he's going to film a little bit of vignettes to throw up there throughout the episode so that he can still kind of be a part of it as he was today with his images and written statements. We'll have some video clips to air of him throughout the show.
All right,
James is going to be putting together highlights from open mic night. James was even suggesting, or Noah was even suggesting to throw in some highlights from the pay-per-view calls if you can make that happen.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
I've been going through old episodes of Dads from this year, trying to find little snippets to put into a presentation so we can have some highlights from Dads Not Always on Wrestling over the course of the year. So, got quite a bit. And again, probably not going to be too much current wrestling related topics. We'll probably go over and kind of rehash the biggest stories of the year, and kind of, as the year is ending, we'll talk about, once again, like Austin having a match at WrestleMania, the Sasha Naomi walkout, the Vince McMahon resignation, the All Out scrum. These are things that have been beat to death on the channel, but you can't argue that they're not the biggest stories of the year. And just in time for the plugs.
Can you guys see me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
You're not John Cena. We can see you.
Hey, I saw John just fine last night. Thank you very much.
Fair point.
All right. So how much did I...
You've missed pretty much the entire show. We're doing the shills. I just was promoting the New Year's Eve special.
Yes.
Talking about how, we're probably not, unless there's a major story that breaks that week, we're probably not going to cover anything current wrestling.
Right.
Like I said, we're going to be retalking the biggest stories of the year.
Right.
As well as showing highlights and whatnot.
Yes. So
this is probably the last full week of current newsworthy topical wrestling stuff. Again, unless we get something super chatted next week for a topic.
Knock on wood.
Unless something drastic transpires over the next 2 weeks that we have to cover on the New Year's Eve show.
Don't jinx it.
I'm not trying to, but I'm trying to be 100% transparent to my panel as well as to our viewers.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I'm at this point, because I'm sure you all saw the group chat, but for the audience that is unaware at the moment, I have been scheduled to work at the House of Mouse starting at 7 p.m. Pacific time, so I'm gonna totally miss the whole show. There's no way around it. But JJ and I talked about it, and what I'm gonna do is every hour that the day turns to 2023, so over the course of the program, there'll be a little cut in from me that's pre-taped, obviously, and with what I'm going to try to do is have a memory or a favorite moment based on that time zone. So as far as on the channel or, just some sort of blooper or something, I already have a really good one for the end of the show, even though it technically features people on the East Coast. I'm still going to save it for last because you have to save the best for last, right? So, but yeah, that's the plan I had in mind. I hadn't really cleared that with anybody at the Christmas show. Oh yeah, I'll be there Friday, Bubba. You no doubt about that. No way I'm missing Friday with this guy above me having to carol along with the rest of us.
Go see the Nutcracker.
No. The only that's going to be cracking is you having to sing, brother.
Hang your Christmas lights up outside your house.
They should be up. If it's not up already, you got some serious issues, kids.
Go make fake snow.
No.
Talk to Matt Riddle. He was snorting it.
No, you and Snow on this show. We can't talk about that no more.
We can, yeah, we tried. And,
we tried that. Didn't work.
It didn't work.
It's actually a toy prime. I was watching the React channel. I was like, oh, that's how you do that? That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
No, stop making snow. No, donate to Noah. Donate for Noah to sing.
No. And I only say I'm going to be on Friday. Number one, because I'm off work. Number two, it's the only freaking day I have off of absolutely nothing to do this coming week between the podcast and Disney. So,
all right.
So I will be there. I will be there with hopefully something more Christmassy than this very lovely Shop Disney sweater that you can get at shopdisney.com. You can find it in your size it is right now because it is sold out in most places. It is a park. Primarily a park product, but the voice of a certain somebody modeled it. I'm like, okay, well now I have to have it because Brett wore it. So, Kings won in the shootout, so that's always good to send me into a Christmas break of not seeing hockey live with a win, especially over San Jose. So for those of you up north, including Meltzer, fuck off, thank you. Appreciate that.
I kind of beat you to the punch on that one, although not.
Me and James both had our things to say about.
Oh, I'm sure. Hang on one second.
I kind of went off.
You kind of went off.
Okay, I really went off.
I was saying, James, how long have I known you? This was your freaking over 9,000 power level of what going off.
Yeah.
Now it's
Jeff, go back and watch the Regal conversation and then the man conversation.
Yeah, it's one of those. This was definitely the week that James had pretty much carte blanche to go off on the media because they earned it this week. They really did.
Thank you. Okay, I'm glad I got that already.
Yeah, it's
Man, to be fair, you kind of did push me to that point where, again, I don't get involved in this stuff, but I understand where you're both coming from.
I have no problem on repeating what I said. I basically said.
Well, no. We can't, only because I gotta get off the phone. I just want to come in real quick and make a cameo.
Oh,
or whatever.
all right. Yeah, cool.
It's trust me, I'll watch it back. We gotta get somebody to watch hours to get up to 4,000. So, I'm looking forward to the eve of Christmas Eve special, I should say. Not the Christmas Eve, because we'll all be busy Christmas Eve with our families. Much like Noah wants us to be busy on Friday, but we're not going to be. We'll be with you, dude, because we love you and we want you to sing along with us, bright and jolly and merry.
Damn it!
But again, if I don't get to say it live on Friday, I want to say it now. Thank you all for going along for the ride. Whoever's, I'm not running the studio. I don't know how many people are still watching, but God bless you guys that are watching this night. And I've watched all year. A lot of the moments I'm going to pick out for my looking back is going to be in this room with these people, these three people primarily. The pay-per-view calls have just been a light, a beacon of light for me. This guy, getting a call, a big four, Noah calling every damn thing because he's a superstar. James coming back onto the side of, I'll call WWE after all, why not? Which, you talked in Mania, that wasn't going to happen past Mania. So, very cool that the man of the marquee has been allowed to be an outlet for the three of you, and I can't say how fucking proud of that I am enough. Said it on my post earlier in the week. It's one of our dearest friends on the channel was this close. Where's the camera? This close to being a world champion, Frankie Kazarian. Within the existence of the network, my dearest friends have been on the Jericho cruise. They've been to India. They've toured all around the world. One of them just finished a tour with Debbie Gibson. Let's not oversell that era for Ariel. God bless her. So I'm proud of all my friends this year, and I'm honored to have been part of. And that's accurate, but Jarrett was still a horseman, so there you go. There's that. And I promise, those of you that weren't actually I didn't do that last week off air. I showed the clip to Mikey T, and he acknowledged it. He won't admit it, but he acknowledged that Jarrett was, in fact, labeled a horseman by Arn and Rick off the air. So there you go. Deny it, Mikey. Deny it. I dare you. Because I will show the clip on air and ruin my monetization. I don't give a shit.
He was on here earlier, and then I guess Mother Nature or something dropped him off the face of the earth.
Mother Nature's been a mucker feather across the country. We've had to cancel fireworks all week at Disneyland because of the wind and the rain and everything. It's been bad. So, anyway, thank you guys for letting me pop in here real quick. I know you said earlier I shrugged up and I can't let me pop in. I'm on the marquee, but it is let me pop in because you guys are kicking ass and doing gangbusters without me, and I appreciate that you guys can do that. And I'm like I said, I'm proud to be an outlet, and I'm happy that you guys have all been able to shine in your own way. So that's wonderful.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Jeff.
JJ, I love you, brother. It's been a crazy over 10 years of just podcasting with you, let alone the almost 20 of friendship. So it's
yeah, absolutely.
It's been a wild ride, much like Mr. Toad, which I'm going to see shortly. So thank you guys all at home for watching, and please come in Friday. It's not Christmas Eve. You have a reason to come in. It's Friday night. SmackDown's taped, so who gives a shit, really?
And by the way, you might see you guys are invited to come right before open mic night to my watch party at Rampage, because we're going to be doing that right before we go live with the Eve of Christmas Eve. So
yeah, it's one of those, like, SmackDown's got a lot of good stuff on it because I went ahead and read, so it's good. It'll be a fun watch, but
yeah,
we're going to be live.
Yeah, so. Mentioning to piggyback on what saying, King Mike X asked if we were going to be before or after SmackDown. Depends if your East Coast will be after SmackDown, if your West Coast will be on opposite SmackDown. Because we're starting at 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 Eastern normal time.
Yep.
And I swear we are going no longer than 2 hours.
Yes.
This is a special. We're not trying to go for no long. We're saving that for New Year's. 2 hours, no more.
Yeah, and I am co-signing and pulling executive rank here. My name's on the marquee. It doesn't say that right now, but it's on the marquee. I got to be up at the ass crack of dawn to sign in a 3-year-old and his family the next day. So I'm not working, but I'm working Christmas Eve. So yeah, we cut that shit short.
Yeah, right.
So are we through your plug, Jay? Are we waiting on the Noah to take us home?
We're just waiting for Noah to take us home, man. That's basically what you came home in time for. Before I turn it over to him officially to take it home, I'm just going to go ahead and say for myself, and I'm pretty sure I speak for the two gentlemen above me, but thank you, sir, for allowing us this outlet.
Amen.
You know, I mean, it's been a crazy ride for me and you the last couple years especially.
Yes.
You know, the whole public world doesn't need to know why, but you know why. It's been a crazy ride for the two of us the last couple of years, but to be synced back up with you and able to do this stuff on a regular basis, and not just doing dads, but we did Ask the Dads for a little bit this year. Then joined the open mic night crew, joined the commentary team. You know, it's been a fun ride. Thank you for allowing myself, and again, I'm sure I speak for these two gentlemen, allowing us to be part of the multiverse of media, as it were, as you feel it is to say that.
Yes. Yeah, it's I literally am just like chomping at the bit for that first quarter alone of content between the live stuff and the pre-tape stuff, man. This, like, as Noah says, each and every pay-per-view day, let's fucking go. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Noah, plug it.
Absolutely. And Noah, I was going to say, Noah, let's fucking go. Take us out of here.
God bless you, Jeff, you crazy people in the chat and on the screen galore. It's been a hell of a 2022, and we're just getting ready to get through. People, though, here we go. If you want to know more about me, though, know this. For I am just a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling, damn it! But I digress. Find me on Instagram and YouTube and Twitter and in Foster1916 for all things wrestling. Shout out, of course, to the entire ATW family. I will be doing one last fun little simple preview to close out 2022 on my simple YouTube channel. It will be covering the Supercard for Stardom, of course, Dream Queendom, culminating with Julia versus Siri for the red belt and so much more. And then we'll kick things off with a simple predicting exhibition, previewing Simply Predicting's first quarter, as we will, of course, come together on my YouTube channel to preview and discuss Wrestle Kingdom 17, which I will be back here to call and commentate live on the Championship Network Multiverse of Media. So I'm looking very forward to that. And there's going to be so much more to come, too, as we finish out 2022. But as always, I'd like to conclude, there are no winners, no losers, no betters. There are just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another and respect each other. Protect your mentality, too, if you didn't get nothing else from tonight's episode. And it's the holidays, so literally, treasure your families. And just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It's as simple as that.
And JJ's frozen.
Yeah,
okay.
We've been having problems with that all night. All right, go, JJ.
Happens.
JJ, go.
There we go. There we go, gentlemen. Thank you to everyone who joined us for this last normal edition of Open Mic Night for 2022. For the man whose name is on the marquee, Jeff motherfucking Meacham. For the simple man, Noah Foster. For the He-Man, J-Hebert. I am the Renegade.
Roll
thing, and as
he's the real
a premiere in January on Renegades Reviews. So long, everyone.
Have a good night, folks.
Good night, everybody.